Welcome to the Classes Permanent Podcast. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. We have episode 14 here. Super exciting episode here ahead of us. We have Pucc's final AFCON Corner. Super exciting AFCON final. I'm happy to break that down, talk a little bit about some superlatives. We're going to go into some own goals. As well, we will move into the transfer portal, some of the news that's going around just in soccer, our new highly favored new segment, Career Mode. We will reveal what team in just a bit. We're going to move into, of course, the weekend recap, midweek preview. We got Champions League this week, which is really nice to have that back. And then, of course, we'll finish with a mystery 11. Owen got us last time. Let's see how we do this time. That being said, away we go. Alrighty, boys. Pucci Main, how are we?
I'm great.
Are you?
I'm fantastic. This has nothing to do with soccer. New Game of Thrones show dropped last night, and
It did.
I've been super into that. So
yeah, Pucc.
It's awesome.
Pucc is eager to get out of the studio right now because he wants to go watch more conspiracy theory videos. That's not even me fucking around.
That's true. No, that part is true. I'm not eager to get out, but I do want to watch more. And but I love talking ball, so I'm ready to talk ball.
100%. I did watch that episode with Pucc last night. It's nice to have Game of Thrones back.
Yeah.
You know, it's Game of Thrones.
And it's a little silly. It's a little quirky.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting their head chopped off 3 seconds in. Little boys are getting pushed out of windows to end the episode.
Spoiler alert, Pucc. But let's do a quick little Game of Thrones talk.
Yeah.
Last night's episode, Pucc is like a true savant of Game of Thrones. He might as well be Pucc R.R. Martin.
I will say this: there's only one man that I think out savants me in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
His name's Kyle John Hansel.
I didn't know Hansel's middle name.
I made that up. It's not his middle name.
If it is, that's pretty cool. Okay, I see that. He did have a lot of the lore last time we watched it. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode. It's fun. It's lighthearted compared to, like you said, right? Like some of the other series where it's like very dark, very heavy, which has its own appeal. But like this was kind of fun. Like in the first 5 scenes or first like 5 minutes, you see the guy like shitting behind the tree. That was hilarious.
It was. I think I rated it a 6.8.
Yeah, that was your rating.
But it wasn't for the storyline. It was more so I thought they would be going quicker with it.
Yeah.
So, and the length of the episode. So that was the 6.8. Everything else in terms of staying with the lore of the books, I would give it a 9.6. So.
Okay, cool. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
That being said, so me and Pucc did watch that yesterday. Something Pucc did not do with me yesterday, despite us talking about us on the pod, me being very excited, is me and Pucc did not get a chance to eat egusi yesterday. Sunday. Him and I spoke about getting, it was going to be Nigerian food, but close enough to Senegalese food. And Pucc, do you have any reason to explain what? Oh, what's wrong with that? They're both West African countries with similar influence. Sorry that you're not geopolitically correct like me. This guy, man.
That was great.
Oh, look at me. I'm Owen. I have curly hair. I could get through life scotch-free.
Get him again.
Yep. Oh, scotch-free. Now the Irish guy's telling me. Remontada. Fuck. I've been having so many remontadas. I got remontaded. Pucc, would you like to explain yourself? Mr. AFCON, by the way. Puccon is what he's been telling everybody.
Yeah, I have 3 reasons.
Okay.
Reason number 1, which was probably the most important, it was snowing for most of this game.
So I was going to go to you.
Yeah, it was snowing. I didn't want your life on my hands.
So you still had me come over to watch Game of Thrones
I didn't have you do that. That was Brett.
Really, really weak.
No, it's a weak point. I agree. But
right.
I didn't
start with the weak.
I didn't want your life in my hands in that moment with the snow.
Can I help you out with a little bit of something that you can do to persuade people in the future? Sales knowledge?
Nope.
Something you're supposed to do that I've learned?
I'm okay.
If you have 3 reasons, one of them's weak, you sandwich it in the middle. Put a strong one, end with a strong one, put the weak one in the middle. Continue.
I'm okay. I didn't need that.
You can redo it if you want.
Second reason was I only have one TV. So I guess second and third reason are the same. I'm a Patriots fan, so I did watch the first hour on my TV, but then it's a Patriots divisional round. I'm sure if the Giants played in the divisional round, you probably would have watched Giants over AFCON final and had AFCON final on your phone or laptop. Correct.
Giants.
Correct.
Well, I would have had it on my laptop.
Yeah. Okay.
Giants. No. This would have been on my laptop.
AFCON final on the laptop.
Or, well, if you were coming over to watch the
AFCON
AFCON final with Igusi, wait, first off, no.
Hold on.
If you were to come over,
hold on. You said for me to give my reasons, and I'm giving my
okay,
reasons
but I'm
right
going to
now.
give rebuttals.
This
dude never did mock trial.
Not in the
This
middle.
dude never did mock trial.
I never did.
Okay, but I never did either.
Okay.
Got his ass from Montana. Okay, continue. I'll let you finish your points before I break them down.
I watched the first hour on my TV, and then I was like, all right, Patriots are playing in a divisional round game against the Texans. It's a snow game. I have to watch it. It's in New England. I haven't seen Patriots divisional round playoff game in close to 10 years. And I have 10 Super Bowls, so this is important to me.
10 Super Bowls?
I have 10. I count the ones that we lost.
Dude, this guy is on one, bro.
And so
you can't even argue with it.
And so
it's like arguing with a crackhead on the corner. Sometimes you go, yeah, you're right, Dunk.
And so I decided to watch on my phone. And so I felt that wasn't a great viewing experience for you to come over. We have this beautiful spread of jollof rice, agusi, fufu, and then we're just sitting on my phone/laptop watching it because I was not giving up the TV for the Patriots game.
Okay, let me break this down a little bit just on my rebuttal. And listen, at the end of the day, I let you off the hook, right? And I actually have a big
thank the Lord you let me off the hook on this one.
Anyway,
oh my goodness.
He's got an attitude today, and it's actually kind of fun. It's actually kind of fun because usually Pucc is like, never mind. He's like Arteta. Sometimes he just takes backseat, takes second place, especially in his own games. That being said, I actually have a surprise for you, Pucc. Dad, you could bring down the Agusi. All I ask you, Pucc, and I will accept your apology. Just eat my Agusi.
That's like a 7-day, 24-hour thing. I would do that. Are you kidding me? Does your dad actually have Agusi?
My dad does not have an Agusi. Let's move on here. I forgive you, Pucc. I do ask that one day we do go to get Nigerian food together, but that's just more
Can we do it when the weather is a bit better?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a more flavorful experience. We go to said restaurant. Awesome. We go to said restaurant and get it. We have Owen come with us and film us eating it.
Yes. Owen, you're not much of like I just know spicy food fucks you up.
That's another thing that's another thing.
Oh, Nacho, you are a spicy guy. So like, say Indian food, right? That's something I need to try too. I've never had it. Most people know me. I'm a food guy. On our trivia team, when there was food questions, they just naturally look to me. That's part of my weight. No. I'm actually down 13 pounds at the start of the year.
I said
I might start going shirtless. I think so. That being said, though, I've never tried Indian food because I also maintain the fact
you shit your pants.
Well, so that's part of it. So if I'm going to try it, number one is I want to go with someone who like knows good Indian food and I want to like try like an authentic good place. I don't want to taint my experience. Secondly, is at the end of the day, it's spicy food. You have to know where you're going. You have to know, like, it can't be like, oh, let's go get Indian food and then go to the bar. It's got to be kind of like, hey man, why don't we go get Indian food? And then like you go to your house and I go to my house and we play pro clubs. You know what I mean?
So we're like, let's recover in about 3 hours.
Correct. If you need it, if it's necessary. I don't know if it's necessary. That's my point.
I need it.
Okay. So, but have you had Indian food?
Yeah.
Okay. So I never had. So that like, I'm looking out for others.
Hey, you got to branch out, brother.
No. I've eaten almost everything.
Really?
Name something I've eaten. Other than I've mentioned.
Vietnamese.
Yes. Pho.
Okay.
There's a pho spot around the corner. Delicious. I would take you there. Also, New Haven, Connecticut, really good one. This guy thinks I don't know. Yeah, I was in Montreal this time last year. Go ahead, keep testing me.
New Zealand.
I don't even know New Zealand cuisine. I have. Hey, hand up. I'll try New Zealand cuisine.
Norwegian.
These places even have cuisines.
That's the point.
He said test them.
Yeah, I've never had Norwegian cuisine, Pucc, but like
Scandinavian in general.
Is there like? But that's it. Yeah, I was in Hawaii. Poke's this. Everyone thinks Poke's Japanese. It's actually like Hawaiian.
You gave him a cop-out answer there, Owen.
You know what I do? You know what I do need to try that's been on my mind too? I really like, everyone's like, oh, I want to go to California. It's beautiful. I want to go just for like tacos and like the taco trucks. One of our good friends, Eric Sweeney, who's an Irishman just like
Yeah. Actually, Owen kind of reminds me of Sweeney.
Yes.
Looks-wise.
Definitely not. Oh, okay. You want to hop on a mic real quick? Tell us about your experience. You can hop on mine if you want or whoever. Owen's going to explain his experience in Cali.
I will say, I didn't anticipate to love Cali coming from the East Coast. It was pretty great, but the food did blow me away.
Are you speaking specifically like the Mexican food and like the okay?
My two highlights were the Mexican food. Those trucks and tents on the
Yes.
side of the road, they hit every time.
Yep.
There's some that you'll see. There's like lines like around the block. They're like
Yes.
establishments, but they're not even establishments. They're
Okay.
like tents. And the Korean food. I
Really?
frequented Koreatown.
Okay.
For barbecue and whatever else, and it was just unbelievable.
That makes sense. I forgot that they had a huge Korean population because like that was a big thing of Sonny going there and playing in LA. Was like he was going. I think outside of Korea, the second biggest Korean population, like maybe in the world. I could be wrong, but I've done K-pop. Is that what it's called? Yeah. The food is good. I'm really not up for like the whole cooking. Like if I'm like having to cook my own food in front of me, because I'm someone that gets worried about like undercooking stuff. So like I was just only doing red meat. Like I didn't want to do chicken. I didn't want to do that because I was scared like, oh, what if I undercook it? And it's a little overwhelming.
What about and you have pizza when you're in California or no?
Yeah, don't even do that.
When I was in California, I tried it once and I was like this because everybody there was like, you have to try the pizza here. It's so much better than the East Coast. And it was literally like dehydrated yeast as the dough. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is the healthiest. Like, this is not
pizza. That's not
like,
pizza. I will say, I want to take that back about Korean. I have had Korean. I've had Korean barbecue. I like Korean barbecue a lot. That's awesome. Like there's Rooster Spin in Westfield. Really, really good. Again, though, it's one of those things like I like Korean, but if we're going Asian, I love pho and I love Thai food. Thai food is terrific. Thai food, the problem is it's a little bit expensive, like no matter where you go, but it's worth it. It's like totally worth it. Pho's amazing. I'm like sushi, terrific. I like Chinese, but again, I think American Chinese is something where I'm a little bit over because I've eaten so much of it.
Yeah.
That I'd like to, and everyone says like, oh, in China it's different. I need to try like a really authentic, proper Chinese place.
I haven't had American Chinese food since college.
Like, are you saying you've eaten authentic Chinese or you just haven't eaten Chinese?
I just haven't eaten Chinese food because there's so much MSG. It's so
exactly
much like bad stuff in there for you that I just cut it out completely.
100%. Well,
and I love, what's it called? The soup, the wonton
soup. Yes, wonton soup. Oh, bury me in wonton soup.
Wonton soup, General Tso's. Oh.
I heard MSG like that was like fear mongering, and it's like really like chill.
That's big.
Fear mongering.
That's big. American Chinese restaurants coming at you there. They're trying to make sure that you eat more of it because people started getting nervous about the MSG, so they were like, MSG's good. MSG's good. It's not good. Don't trust big America Chinese restaurants.
This might be me spreading misinformation about MSG. Isn't the whole idea about MSG is like, isn't that what makes you, it kind of runs through you a little bit quicker so you eat more?
I have zero clue what it is. I just don't trust anything that's an acronym in food.
I'm trying to think of an acronym in food. Can you think of anything though? He's kind of right.
There's so
many. Like if I told you like, oh, you know that chicken parm you ate last night?
Yeah.
It has AST in it. You would sit there and
I'd eat it up.
You'd be like, what the hell is that? First off,
that is true. That is true.
You'd be like, wait, what? Like now, if I just told you like, oh, that chicken parm is like high in protein,
perfect,
like perfect,
dog
cool. But if I said, oh, it's high in AST, you'd be like, wait, what?
I'd eat a piece of bark if you told me it was high in protein. Honestly, I'm kind of it's funny the conversation we're having right now about like the MSG. So I take creatine, gym guy, and my dad, because back in the day, creatine was seen as like almost a steroid, and it has now been like the most researched supplement, this and that, right? He literally is like argues with me. He's like, that is, I know for a fact that's not good for you. And I'm like, honestly, Dad, like there's so many studies done. It is like, I don't like, you have to stay hydrated on it because a big thing that it does is it takes the water and puts it like in your muscle. So you need to like hydrate a little bit over, but I'm like, it's good for you. Like, I don't know, but that is, I was talking about MSG and the fear mongering is the creatine. Let's go back to this real quick. I really want to try Indian food. I really want to try like African food. And I know that's like, you can't say African food because Africa is a continent and there's so many different places.
You want to try Central and South African food?
No, I want to try West African.
Okay.
West Africa is like Nigeria, Senegal. Yeah. I particularly want to try Nigerian food because I like the idea of fufu looks awesome. It looks like a bao bun.
I got a video to send you, by the way.
On
Nigerian food and people eating it in Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, send that to me after and we'll review.
Yeah.
But I really want to try Nigerian. So all I ask is one day, us three, we go and we get Nigerian from a proper.
I'm more than willing to go. I just, Saturday, A, I didn't want your life in my hands. And then B, I wanted to watch the Patriots go to the AFC Championship game again to win their 11th Super Bowl.
I'm gonna let you off the hook on this one. How's that sound?
Good.
'Cause
listen, you're about to say your own goal. I've already let you off the hook. I forgot this even happened, and you just reminded me again. So I will kind of go at you a bit, but
Fair.
I'm like,
we've said it every episode. We're hands up, guys.
hands up.
Hands up. I can admit when I made a mistake. I didn't have to tell you guys. Oh, well, I actually, this is how I realized I made a mistake, which actually helped me.
Okay, get into it.
All right, let's get into it. So my own goal this week is Sunday morning I wake up and I was excited about all the soccer. So so everyone knows, like, Barca played at the same time as AFCON. There's a bunch of different games going on. And I was like, you know what? I think it was like 10 a.m. And I'm like, oh, let me see what Premier League games are on. Right? Usually there's a Premier League game on when I wake up on the weekends. So I'm like, all right, let me turn it on. I go right to, I think it was NBC Sports or Peacock, whichever. And the first thing it says is Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me throw it on. I transparently, as a Spurs fan, I have not watched any Arsenal.
Yeah, you're trying to do your own research for the pod. It's a very admirable thing.
I think,
You're
and you know what?
there and you're trying to be like, let me watch more. We made a promise to each other at the beginning of the year. We're going to watch more footy. I think we have stuck to it, and this was one of the ways you were sticking to it. You were sitting there and you were like, best team in the league, top of the table. They're about to get put into the Carabao Cup final, top of the Champions League, and you were like, yeah, I want to watch that good team.
Long story short, I said, you know what? Let me be a ball knower. Let me watch a little Arsenal. I can't just keep formulating opinions off everything I read and stats. So I turn on the game. I get about 70 minutes into the game, and I text Pucc and some of the guys, wow, Hudson-Odoi's playing well. He played really, really well.
He did.
And I think, I forget if it was Pucc or one of the other guys goes, what is he playing in?
Yeah,
and
that was me.
Yeah, and yeah, he played well yesterday, or whatever you said. And I was like, yesterday? I checked FOTMob immediately. Yeah, I was watching a rerun. I went 70 minutes into a rerun of the game the day before. Now, in my defense, what isn't horrible about this is this isn't like 2 weeks later I'm watching a random game. It was the day after, which I could have just been like, I'm a ball knower and I'm just watching ball when I can.
Yeah.
Hand up. But yeah, that was my own goal. I watched legitimately 70 minutes of this game. I did not get up and go grocery shopping because I was like, wow, it's 0-0 still in the 70th. And I think Nottingham have a chance here. Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
Yeah, I got that text and I thought that I was still asleep. Like I was like, wait, I thought we played yesterday. Am I asleep? Am I remembering this wrong? Are we playing right now? And then I was like, no, Ethan is completely wrong on this one.
Which is rare.
Yeah. And you said something about him being on the list, the Epstein list. And then we got into a whole Epstein debate in the chat.
Correct.
So it got off the rails quickly, but.
Yeah, I'll read the exact text. It was, the exact text was, Cho has looked amazing today. Our buddy goes, Hudson-Odoi. And then Pucc goes, he played yesterday. I said, wow, that's on me. I thought this game was live. So, yeah. And someone said, no wonder you couldn't bet on it. Yeah, I thought it was live. That's on me. I thought it was going to be funny. I thought the room would appreciate that. But, all right. Any other funny stuff going on early? Oh, Pucc, it's time to give the devastating news.
Oh, yeah, I officially tore my labrum.
He went in for his MRI.
At least that's what I think. They used a bunch of medical lingo.
I know.
Well, they used a bunch of medical lingo in it. And I don't know if this is breaking any HIPAA violations.
Well, so HIPAA is that they can't share your info, but you're more than welcome to share.
Okay, then I'll share mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was.
He doesn't trust the anagram.
No, I don't. It was from the report. It says, quote, labrum, inner margin truncation and irregular of the anterior labrum at the 3 o'clock position represents tearing. So I guess I tore it, but I don't know the full medical. I already looked it up. It said it's torn.
Okay, yeah.
It's just a bunch of medical. I don't know the severity of whatever that means. So if a doctor's listening, let me know if that's severe or not.
Yeah, we should get a doctor on the pod to break down, like, you know how like you have, at least in American football and like fantasy, it'll be like, oh, based on the way like he like twisted his ankle, I expect it's a grade 3 sprain. This is the we should do that with you.
Yeah, we should. It would have been nice a couple of weeks ago. We should have thought about that sooner.
Transparently, I mean, my first thing when you dislocate is like, you should go to the doctor. And you were just like, no, I know what I'm doing.
Well, the dislocation, I knew exactly what I was doing.
The sad part is you still haven't relocated it.
No, it's there. They said nothing is out of place.
Okay, so so let's just clarify for the viewers. It has been located.
Yes.
The shoulder's been located.
Yes, for weeks.
This is like when you're looking for something, you find it. That shit is broken though. It's not going to work.
Yeah, they were saying something about how like my shoulder is like inverted instead of like
inverted the shoulder.
They inverted the shoulder. My
Pucc's
wing
pep.
is inverted. My
Wing
wing
is
is
inverted. That's incredible. Yeah. Pucc inverted his own wing. It's just crazy that in that game, no one touched you. You did this yourself. You tore your own labrum.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and just to be clear, so this is your left shoulder. Are you a lefty? I feel like you are.
I mean,
Why do I think you're a lefty?
How personal do we want to go here? Because
What?
I'm a lefty with eating and then wiping.
I feel like I've seen you throw a ball to lefty, like intentionally. Like when we played softball.
I like hit a baseball lefty. Like I hit
So you
swing lefty for like golf, baseball.
right. That's it. Golf. I know you're a lefty. Yeah.
And then I eat and wipe lefty. Everything else is righty.
So you righty.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're really ambidextrous. You're Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah.
Ousmane Pucc Bele.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, your brain works in mysterious ways sometimes.
What? Why is that crazy?
No, not mysterious. I used the wrong adjective. It works
Nice word.
It works in miraculous ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I'm
a fan.
savant.
I'm fascinated by your brain at points. Like the fact that you immediately went
Why are you
to
glazing?
Ousmane Pucc
Bele.
Like I couldn't even think of that on the spot. And you within 3 seconds were like Ousmane Pucc Bele. Like
We were watching Game of Thrones as it ended last night. We were putting someone onto the pod, a friend of ours, and he's probably listening to this episode today. Welcome to the podcast. Hey Kevin. Thank you for joining.
Hi Kevin.
And I just explained how Pucc's name has now just become an adjective.
Yeah.
It's just an adjective and a noun, and maybe sometimes a verb.
I don't know any of that, so.
Yeah, I didn't. The fact you said adjective earlier was incredible because you got it on the head.
I know. Adjective, yeah. I know. Verb, noun, I know. Verb, I know.
Verb is like,
action
I
word?
tore my ACL.
Action
or tore my labrum.
Action word.
Correct. Well done.
Okay.
Good. All right, let's jump into it. This is unfortunately Pucc's final African Cup of Nations corner. We had the final as we spoke about. Pucc, why don't you start here? Senegal beats Morocco 1-0 in extra time. Pucc banger in the 101st. I mean, we both watched the game, but this is your spotlight. This is your final moment. This is your magnum opus. Take it away, Pucc.
Yeah, I think to start, we should all give a moment of silence for AFCON because we won't get another one for 4 years. So if you guys would please indulge me, and we're going to take a moment of silence. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that, boys. Senegal. They had the hopes of a nations on their shoulders. They had the hopes of 3/4 of the continent on their shoulders. They had the hopes of a white boy from Jersey on their shoulders. And they came through. Oh my God.
Wow.
We said it for a month. I'm an AFCON savant.
Yeah.
Who did I predict at the beginning? What was my prediction to win?
Was it Senegal?
Senegal. I had Senegal versus Nigeria in the finals, so I was close, but I had Senegal to win. They won. They came through, not with a little bit of controversy, but they got it done. I think they played really well throughout the entire game. I think that we can get into the controversies right now to start, but I truly think that they were the better team within this game. They played like a team, and I think it showed through. I think to start, we probably should start at the end.
Yeah, in
terms of the two kind of big things in the injury time. With the Senegal initial goal overturned and then the penalty given. So I think what the big issue was with Senegal was they felt like when their goal was overturned, it was such a quick call. And then on top of that, they didn't go back and review.
And just to give everyone a quick, for those who didn't watch the game and maybe have just seen this on Twitter, I will say too, right? This was probably one of the most boring games I've ever seen in my life until all this kicked off.
Yeah.
Which is prime AFCON. Because I was sitting there, I was like, really? This is the final we're getting?
And I did see, and I agree with the people online that were like, it kind of sucks because the whole narrative is going to be like, oh, this is at like AFCON. Right. It's just like these crazy moments. When in reality, we actually had a really, really good tournament filled with a lot of good footy being played. And not like it was less about the crazy moments this AFCON and more about, wow, that was actually like really good footy being played. And like kind of like that first step in a really long time of the world media being like this continent's soccer is like really, really like it's good. Like it's not just like
It's
those
respected.
crazy, yeah, respected.
For a while, it hasn't been respected, and I think a lot of us getting into AFCON just know, like, the stupid clips you see on
Yeah.
social media, which I guess a little bit of extra time was that, but I would agree, and just as someone who's not as a savant, a fan, but not a savant like you, I think when I think of AFCON, I think of these crazy moments, you think of controversy, you think of, oh, the ref ended the game 5 minutes early. I don't know if you remember that a couple of years ago, right? I don't even know if that was an AFCON, but like that type of vibe,
No,
right?
so yeah.
It was an AFCON, right?
Yeah.
Or it was in an African tournament. I remember it was between
No, it was like AFCON group stage.
Correct,
Yeah.
right. He ended the game 5 minutes early. Like, you think of all these like mishaps, and it's kind of like you can't really, I don't want to say you can't respect it, but you're like, all right, whatever, who cares? And I think, like you said, this was a good tournament. You had a lot of good storylines. And then the ending here, which was fun, but I mean, my stream had John Obi Mikel on it, and we're going to jump into it. But like, when a lot of this controversy happened at some point, especially when Senegal pulled their team off, we'll get into that. He was literally saying, he's like, this is horrible for African soccer. Like, this is a bad look. This is kind of like, essentially we're saying like, this is everyone and how they like disrespect it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And that's why at some point I texted you guys like, this is embarrassing, because I'm like, you've had such a good tournament, and like, this is how you guys are going to end it. This is how you're representing like your continent, and two really, really talented teams, by the way. Like,
two teams that in this summer in the World Cup could have the potential to go far. Like they're not bad teams. A lot of them
100%
play in the top leagues, play for the top teams. Like they are good squads. So yeah, like that initial goal, I think, or like that whole controversy in general, it was based on the ref calling it too quickly, and the goal goes in and they don't even go and review it because it was a very soft falling down from, I believe, Hakimi.
For the penalty?
For the Senegal.
For the I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then 4 minutes later, Morocco goes down, and Diouf, who initiated that contact on Hakimi.
It was on on the other end.
On the other end.
Sorry.
It was.
I'm going to let you rock here.
Thanks. It was Diouf who quote unquote, fouled Diaz.
Right.
But once again, it was the same soft penalty that was given on the other end. So I think Senegal felt like we're getting like the wool pulled over our eyes here. Like we are getting screwed in this one. So when that goes to VAR, they call it a penalty. Senegal decides, you want to know what? We're done. We're walking off. Most of the team walks off. The one guy that stayed on was Sadio Mane. Legend.
Saved AFCON, saved African soccer.
Going on to that, I believe his name is Claude Leroy.
Nice.
And he is an African. Yes. Claude Leroy.
Yes. I saw him talk to this guy, and I was trying to figure out who he is.
He's a former French manager and player. His whole thing, his whole life has been to help build up the African football image as well as the football itself. So he's coached Senegal, Cameroon, Ghana. Like he's coached a lot of different teams. He's actually only coached teams in Africa throughout his career. He's a really respected man within African football. So that's why Mane, he goes up to him as the team walked down the tunnel, and he was like, I don't know. Mane was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what should I do? Like I think they screwed us, but like, what should we do? And Leroy basically said, the only way that this comes out good is if you call the team back on and you finish the game.
Correct.
He was like, that's the only correct way to finish this.
Correct.
He was like, that's the way that it works best for everyone. So Mane took his advice and called everybody back out. And another quick note on Leroy, I found out that Leroy Sané's parents named him after Claude Leroy.
You made that up.
No, I saw it.
You made that up.
I swear to God, I saw it.
Okay, so seeing it doesn't mean it's real, though, Pucc.
No.
You want me to show you some AI stuff?
No, it wasn't AI.
I saw a cat hit the gritty last week, Pucc.
Let me rock with this. Even if it's wrong, let me rock with this. Claude Leroy.
Oh my God, you're right. He's right.
Yeah.
He is totally right.
Claude Leroy is a French football manager who inspired Souleymane Sané, father of German star Leroy Sané, to play professionally for Senegal, leading Souleymane to name his son Leroy in honor. So yeah.
Okay.
Don't question me again on that. I know my AFCON facts. So they come back out, and Brahim Diaz goes up. Well, first of all, he took the ball off of whoever was supposed to take it.
Wait.
And he goes to take the PK.
did he take it off of him, or were they doing like the thing where they just don't give it to the guy? You know what I mean?
I saw that he took it off of him.
Okay, who
but
was supposed to take it? I had a feeling that maybe Hakimi.
El Nasseri?
Yeah, their striker.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, maybe.
like at the same time, it could have been what you said. The reports that I saw was he went to take it off because he's the one that got the penalty.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm taking
and
it.
leading scorer at this point, he would have been player of the tournament as well. So like in my head, I saw when the penalty's called. Obviously, I disagreed with it. Whatever, right? To put that to the side. I'm seeing them all stand on the penalty dot, and then I see Naziri or whatever his name is holding onto the ball, and in my head, I'm like, is he going to really take it? Because in no way, shape, there's only 2 players on that Moroccan team I'm letting take it in that point, and it's Hakimi, captain, all that, or Brahim, who best player of the tournament so far. How are you not going to? And he drew the penalty. How are you not going to let him take it?
So I'll say this: in 2019, I forget who it was, but they missed a game-winning penalty. In 2023, in AFCON, Hakimi hit the crossbar in a game where they were either drawn or losing and ended up losing the game. So I knew Hakimi wasn't going to take it, and the other individual was not going to take it. I think he was on the team. I forget the name off the top of my head. So I knew that my keys fell. So I knew
good podcast.
I knew that both of them weren't going to take it. I agree. I thought Diaz was going to be, like you said, leading goal scorer, going to be player of the tournament. You got to give it to him. And he just, first off, Mendy, as he sprints back from on the field, sprints to the spot. Morocco's at the center of the field. They sprint to the spot because they saw Mendy sprinting to the spot. 2 or 3 of them huddle around the spot. Mendy then gets forehead to forehead with Diaz. And that could have,
which is crazy, by the way.
Talking about that could have also put him off. Where he was like, I know you're going to try go right down the, Panenka me, I dare you, I dare you, I dare you.
We don't know what he said.
Don't know what he said. And so Diaz steps up and he tries a Panenka in the final to win the game. And it was just, what do you do? Like, Mendy, I think I saw today that he's conceded 30 of 32 penalties in his career.
Oh my God.
The only 2 that he hasn't conceded, like in a game, not a big shootout, the only 2 that he hasn't conceded in the game, both were attempted Panenkas on him.
Interesting.
So the narrative is on him is he doesn't care about that. Like, he knows it's going to go. He's not trying. So he's just going to stand there. And so like Diaz obviously did not do his home. Like, he tried to be the hero, Panenka it, all of that. He should have just put his boot through the ball. He misses. The manager has him by the neck as we head to extra time. He then misses a golden opportunity within 5 minutes of extra time, and he gets pulled right off. He's crying. I felt bad for him in that moment because like that is a lot to weigh on your shoulder. Like, all of this just happened, and you're just like, your confidence must be so shot. But then Senegal goes down the field, hits a banger, and then closes it out. So the last 45 minutes of that game, including the extra time in that 45 minutes, was
nuts.
Absolute cinema.
And I think Pucc kind of said it. It was funny because I texted him. I was like, if Senegal, this is the smartest way to put a taker off.
Oh yeah.
Because here's the thing, Brahim gets the penalty. Everyone's arguing. That's normal, right? That's normal. But then it's like, all right, let me put it down, hit it to the top corner, whatever. And instead, it's like, now you don't even know if you're going to play it, if you're going to take the penalty. Now you have all this pressure walking around like, oh shit, like now I need to score it. And for a second, I was like, and I was thinking this before he even shot it, by the way, because of how long he took to shoot it. I was thinking to myself, oh my God, is he like internally fighting with himself? Like, do I miss it intentionally to like preserve, credibility, or do I just take it? Then Pucc and some of the guys reminded me he's a Real Madrid player. And of course, he's just going to try and score and be a snake. The Panenka there is absurd. If he hits it, we're all making cold edits and saying blah, 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 blah. But I'm pretty anti-Panenka for that reason. You hit it, great. But I'm like, I don't know. It's like if you're in a duel with somebody.
You got to go just laces through a fucking ball.
I know.
You got to mash it home. I feel like the Panenka, there was an Arsenal player last year or 2 years ago that tried the Panenka. It might have been Saka. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why the hell are you trying? You have a good penalty.
Yeah.
Just put your laces through the ball, put it bottom.
Yep.
You're a professional athlete. You take 1,000 shots a day.
I hope.
Like, you're telling me you can't look at a ball from 12 yards out and go, I'm going to put it right on that yard of like string.
Yeah.
Like, they could do that so easily with nobody in front of them. Just do that. Nobody needs you to like do this Panenka.
Yeah. And my whole thing with penalties ever, right? And this is Ethan putting on his coaching hat. So I'm taking off my really cool drippy Aura Yankee hat and I'm putting on my coaching hat, which is just a typical dad cap. Anything I've ever told someone when they're taking a penalty, I don't care if he saves it. You just put it on frame and you just put it hard and low to a corner.
Yeah.
That's it. You always see the center backs just try and hit it as hard as possible, and it looks sick.
Always on the ground.
But it's always on. You should always put it on the ground to a corner.
Foot.
Literally, like, let's just talk. Let's be a little nerdy. If you hit it hard and low to the ground, you take away a complete plane that you could miss on.
Yeah.
If you shoot it high, you can miss it over or wide. You put it hard on the ground, you can only miss wide, or obviously the keeper saves, but that's not a miss.
Also, at the same time, if you hit it hard enough, keeper has to parry it, so it comes back out.
Good
like
word.
it's not like like if you're shooting high, like he tips it over the bar. Granted, you got a like a corner or whatever possibly,
Right.
but if you hit it low on the ground hard enough,
it's coming
even
back
if
to
he
you,
saves
or
it, it's you or your teammate that is.
How many times do we see that too? The keeper saves it, and like you were literally 12 yards away. You're closer than everyone else. I think it was honestly mind games from Senegal, like just pure mind game. Not like I think they were actually pissed and he actually pulled them off, which is, I just hate to say it and be like kind of like a boomer with this, but like that is so soft. Because here's why. I understand, like, we're done with the corruption. We're not dealing with this because Morocco had a whole bunch of issues with corruption this World Cup and people talking about it. In my eyes, though, it's like, even if he scores that, because you guys just do the admirable thing, admirable. That also happened today when the Bills fired McDermott. The first sentence was, Sean McDermott has been an admirable coach, not admirable, and I just did it myself. So, you know what? I'm going to give them a little credit back. They score it. You're always remembered as the team that got robbed and like what should be the true champions. Not to mention, what if he misses it, right? So, I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, it worked out for them. They end up winning the tournament. Good for them. Happy for them. That was a little embarrassing in my eyes just because.
I'll say this, though. It was probably the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of Senegal had a player that was poisoned before the game. Like
Papa Matasar. A couple of them, I think so. Yeah,
a couple of them had food poisoning before the game. Clearly, that's not like they're in Morocco in the
poison the couscous.
Yeah. They also had the ball boys and another player.
This is absurd.
Trying to grab the towel of Mendy to the point where the backup goalkeeper literally was holding on to the towel, like, and the ball boys were fighting with him on the pitch to grab the towel, like, just like stuff like that, where I can see like Senegal being like, you want to know what, screw, like, clearly, like, what is happening right now? Because like for 90 minutes, even before the 90 minutes, we have guys that are getting like food poisoning. We have ball boys that are punching out our backup goalkeeper who plays in France. Like, it's not like he's like a bum. He plays in France, like, professionally, week in, week out.
Who's the Moroccan player? So what Pucc is referring to, I'm glad we talked about this. I want to make sure we didn't miss this. So for those who didn't see, make sure you go back and watch this video. I'm sure you've seen it because it was honestly like just as big a deal in my eyes as some of the stuff that happened at the end of the game. So Morocco, did this happen to Senegal in the semifinal, or is this something Morocco also did in the semifinal?
Morocco did this in the semifinal to Nigeria.
Correct.
Where they were taking the Nigerian goalkeeper's towel.
Yeah. I mean, this is like one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in professional soccer. This wouldn't fly in like U.S. high school soccer, right? In a game, like if you had a ball boy take it, if I'm the goalie, I'm losing my mind. And like usually those kids are like in trouble, right? Like the ref is sending them off. There was like no repercussion. This was like, well, I don't know if you even saw, I'm sure you did, but so whatever, they're doing the whole thing, trying to take the towel. They're wrestling the backup goalkeeper on the field, like
as the ball's coming down.
In the middle of the game. And then a security guard comes running onto the field to get the ball boys off of him. I don't know if he was a guy in a suit, right? Like some type of official. And he doesn't even like go to the ball boys and be like, get out of here, like get off the field. He goes to the backup goalkeeper. He like starts like backing him up. And I'm like, what are we doing? Not to mention, then Morocco puts a player in front of the backup keeper. That player's a Champions League player. I don't remember his name. But
I forget his name too, but I saw a video today of he went to the Senegal's hotel today and apologized. There's a video of him talking to Mendy, shaking hands and clearly apologizing to him. So I do think that it wasn't, I don't think he went there on his own volition and was like, and was
let me do this.
Let me do. I think that was something that was passed down to him by either the coach or somebody involved with the federation, where they were like, you need to have somebody go down there and take that towel away. And so like, I don't I'm sure he was like, oh, come on. Like, I don't, because like even you
Yeah.
see like his heart isn't really in.
He's
If
just standing there.
If
Yeah.
he wanted to take that towel that bad, he could have taken that towel that bad. But like,
This though was again though, like if you're the president of CAF, right, the African
Yeah.
Football Federation, like this is embarrassing. Like that is embarrassing.
I would say that's more embarrassing than Senegal
Yes.
walking off.
I'd 100% agree.
Yeah.
It is so unprofessional, but take it like it's also just like it's like worse than childish, right? Like the kid, if they say the kids were just doing it and they thought it was like funny or whatever, like they're like, oh, we're helping our team, but then you put a player from your team. He's a midfielder for PSV,
Yeah.
right? Like a player that could have been subbed into this game, and you have him doing it too. It's like
God forbid he hurts himself trying to like do quick movement.
I don't even care about hurting himself though. It's just like so essentially the coach at that point has told him you're not playing today. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like you're gonna like. Or like what? So it's like, oh, I want to sub him in. Oh, go have him warm up. It is like so. I don't even know how you could have people standing there. You know, like a player. Like whatever. I could get on that. It just really bothered me.
It bothered me a lot too. Like you said, like it is beyond childish to do something like that.
I've just never seen anything like that.
Never.
Listen, we always talk about the dark arts.
Soccer, even
yeah,
like that's not dark arts. That's like what are we doing here?
Right.
Like dark arts would be like the
scuffing the dot. That's what they were trying to do.
Or like the ball boy, like throwing the ball down the end line when the keeper wants it. Like,
correct.
That's dark arts. Like
100%.
Fair enough. Like if you want to do that, I have no problem with the ball boy. You're 1-0 up, and like they're trying to get on with it quick, and the ball boy just like chucks the ball down the sideline a little bit, and the goalie has to run after it. Fine, but like trying to actively like and it's like. I get it because it was raining, so they're like, oh, we don't want him to like
dry his gloves.
I understand that part of it, but also at the same time, I don't like you said, the game was like it wasn't like this like a million shots going back and forth type of
very
game.
weird.
It was just a weird situation.
This may be my last point. We're going to move on to your team of the tournament, which I'm excited about. The other thing I'm thinking too is dark arts is you take a water bottle if you're the ball boy and you spray it. You spray the towel and you just make it wet. And you're like, oh, well, now your towel. But like taking the towel and making that and like them literally wrestling the backup goalkeeper on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like there needs to be some type of fine or sanction. I don't know. I don't know what they do. Long story short, very happy Senegal won. Listen, at the end of the day, what Raheem did was stupid, but I feel like there's just a natural karma to the world, and like it really got him. He got in his own head. He made the mistake. You got to feel gutted for any human being that has to go through that, especially someone that's like, in a sense, like. He's not like born and raised Morocco. He like chose Morocco. He was the hero the entire time. And like, what a hero to zero moment. But let's move on here. You have your AFCON team of the tournament, which I'm excited to go through. I'm gonna let you rock here. Let's start at goalkeeper.
Okay, starting at goalkeeper, Luka Zizou.
Algeria
goalkeeper. He had a 7.77 rating throughout the tournament, and he had 2 player of the match awards.
Nice.
And he also got 3 clean sheets.
Nice.
I also want to say I don't know the actual team of the tournament, and I don't want to. This is my own team of the tournament. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit different. I'm sure there might be some similarities. I don't care what they put down. I watched these games. I saw these players. I know what I saw.
Mendy, they put him
they're gonna give it to him because he won the tournament.
He also had highest save percentage. He had the highest save percentage of all the goalkeepers. I'm not arguing with them. I'm just giving you that's their reason. Go on.
The actual team of the tournament is going to be loaded with Senegalese and Moroccan players.
It's actually not a single Moroccan. Mazraoui made it.
Yeah. Speaking of Mazraoui, my left back is Mazraoui. He had a rating of 7.65 as well as 5 clean sheets. Yeah. And he also is just. I mean, I think he's one of the most underrated fullbacks in the world. Like, I agree with you. He's very good. When he signed for Man U, that was one where I'm like, oh shit, like they may be back because he's that good. One of my center backs is Naif Aguard for Morocco. He had a rating of 7.49, 1 player of the match award, and then 5 clean sheets.
Fair.
My other center back is Calvin Bassey from
he had
Nigeria.
A great tournament.
He had an amazing tournament.
Really good tournament. I love when someone was like, I don't know if it was him or Alex Iwobi. Someone's like, wow, why does he only play like this for Nigeria? And someone was like, well, if you watch the games, he actually plays like this all the time. Yeah. And I mean, I think he's an underrated center back.
He was a guy.
Here's a guy.
I've known about Calvin Bassey since he was on Ajax, and I loved him on Ajax.
Yep.
And even this summer, when Arsenal we ended up going with Mascara. But when we were looking at center, like I knew we were interested in a backup center back. My thought was pick up Calvin Bassey. He's so
Yeah,
good.
from proven too.
He's super once again, another guy that's underrated in terms of world football because he plays at Fulham.
Yep.
But he's a guy who I think deserves probably a big move at some point. I don't know how old I think he's mid-20s now.
He was also in the tournament, by the way.
He was?
Yeah, you got that one right.
See, 2 for 3.
He is, I'll tell you his age right now since you just asked, 26. So a little bit. Oh, he's actually born in Italy, funny enough. But go on, I'm sorry.
My right back is Crepin Diatta for Senegal. He had a 7.94 rating this tournament, 1 player of the match, and 4 clean sheets.
3 for 4.
He had a really good tournament. He did have a really good tournament. He's young. He's a really good player. Are you looking up his age?
No. I was just going to, as you're talking, I'm just looking him up as well. 26. So not super young, but
young enough.
Go on.
Next center mid, the 3 center mids. The first one, Idrissa Gana Gueye. He had a 7.75 rating and he had 1 assist for Senegal. He was kind of that engine in the midfield for Senegal. He made everything move from defense to attack, kind of shuttling, kind of similar to how he plays with Everton. Really good player. Can't believe he's like 35 too. I feel like every single time I see him, I'm like, that dude's got to be like 26, 27. But he's an older man.
Older man.
The next center mid is Mamadou Sangare, who had a 7.49 rating and 2 player of the matches. He's Malinese. And he actually plays for Lens, who are top of the table in League. He's a really good, I think he's 24. 23. I keep getting these years off by like a year, or these ages.
Age doesn't matter. Don't worry. No more ages.
But he had an amazing tournament. I could see him getting a big move this summer. Because I think one of my things in the preview was him, Basuma, and somebody else in that midfield for Mali had to perform really well. He pulled up his end of the bargain. That's why they got to the quarterfinals, I believe. And he had a really good tournament. At the Cam, I had to do. I had Lookman.
There you go.
He had a 7.65 rating, 2 player of the matches, 3 goals, 4 assists for Nigeria. Nigeria had a good like I said, I could have seen them making the final. Like whatever, let bygones be bygones. But he had a really good tournament. I know there was a little bit of a issue with him and Osimhen at one point, but he did a really good job. Left wing, I have Sadio Mane. He got an 8.11 rating this tournament, one of the higher ones. I think the highest one in terms of a guy who consistently played. And 3 player of the matches, 2 goals, 3 assists for Senegal. I mean, he was clearly their best player. He was the leader. We talked about what he did, bringing the guys back on the field. He deserves a spot. Go ahead.
With Sadio Mane, obviously, I think we talked about it last episode, like Brahim Diaz players were. Maybe this was something we texted in the group chat. But I would say here too, I think if Brahim Diaz, say the penalty thing doesn't happen, he probably wins it no matter what. I think what Sadio Mane showed, bringing his team back out and being like the professional on the field, that for me, and obviously he had a great tournament regardless, don't get me wrong. That right there for me tells me like that is like an extra, I don't know, like intangible you get. That's like, no, you are the player of the tournament because you saved the tournament at the end. Because Senegal could have walked off, and right now we'd be talking about, well, I guess Morocco won on a forfeit, So go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, the next one is striker. This one was tough. And I know you're going to sit there and be like, tough, like Diaz got golden boot.
I know where you're going to go with this, though. Yeah.
Him and Osimhen had both stellar. Like, I really wish I could have put both in. And I know Diaz for club plays more winger. This tournament, he played more of a striker role. But with that being said, the 2 wingers that I have, and I'll mention the other one next, the 2 wingers performed so well that I felt it was ill of me to put both of these guys, like only one of these guys could have made it, but both had an amazing tournament. I picked Brahim Diaz at striker. He had a 7.32 rating. 1 player of the match, 5 goals, got the goal. Like he was the best.
He scores that penalty. You and I right now were talking about how he was the best player by far, yada yada.
And then right wing, I had Amad Diallo. Super underrated this tournament because Ivory Coast, they didn't make the final, like all of that, but him and Jan Diamande, that winger partnership, he's starting to come really into his own. He's a younger guy. He's kind of been in and out of that Man U squad for years now.
He was also hurt, which right when he was getting hot last year, I think he tore something. I don't know. He was hurt, so that also doesn't help his case. But that's why it feels like he's been so much more in and out. But he would probably be a bona fide just starter. Go on.
Yeah, no, he had a 7.68 match rating, two player of the matches, 3 goals and 1 assist for Ivory Coast. I think he really deserved, he was once again the guy for Ivory Coast this tournament, breakout for him. And yeah, that was my team of the tournament.
Before you jump in, I just want to talk a little. Oh, you know what? Let's go into your player of the tournament. I'm going to talk on this too.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a couple of, I guess, I don't want to call them superlatives.
Awards. Individual awards.
Player of the tournament, Sadio Mane.
I think, so this is where I was going to go when we were talking about making the 11, and we talked about this in our 2025 team of the year when it comes to Ousmane Dembele. It's the same way where it's like, when in the regard of Osimhen, right? At the end of the day, if you put Osimhen here instead of Brahim Diaz, and then at that point you probably put Brahim right wing, but just because of the position he played, in the team of the year for 2025, you couldn't put Dembele as the striker, right? But at the same time, he was probably the best player on the best team. So it's one of those things I feel with Diaz, where it's
100%.
Maybe he wasn't the best proper striker, but he was the best player. You ended up putting him in, which is fine, but I think it was a similar thing there, which I agree with.
Yeah, if it was 12 guys on a team, Osimhen would be the first guy coming off the bench.
Or I guess you could have changed the formation to put 2 strikers just to be fair, but whatever. Or you could have taken, if of the front 3, Ahmed would be the guy to drop. And then but whatever. Go on. So player of the tournament, Sadio.
Young player of the tournament, Jan Diomande.
Yeah, baller.
He had a 7.59 rating, 1 player of the match and 1 goal. But once again, him and Ahmad on the wings for Ivory Coast really led them to that semifinal appearance. Breakout player of the tournament, I put Akor Adams. He had a 7.16 match rating, 2 goals, 2 assists. Really for Nigeria, they have so much star power. They have Chikwueze, they have Osimhen, they have Lookman, they have so many guys up top. They have Iwobi who could play up top, center mid, all of that. They have so many guys in that attacking position, but he was the one that when they needed most, he got a goal contribution. And I think that he will break out. And I think he plays for Sevilla right now.
Diomande? No, Akor.
No, Akor.
Okay, sorry. I had him
and I could see him maybe not a bigger move because he's not on the younger side of 20, but I could see him getting a move this summer where a team may be sit there and be he played good in AFCON and he's playing well for Sevilla.
Okay.
My old man of the tournament, a player that is old and had a good tournament, pretty self-explanatory there, is Penhamed Salah. I know I've talked a lot of shit on Penhamed, but he did have a 7.7 match rating, 1 player of the match, 4 goals, 1 assist. Once again, it's one of those where if they went further in the tournament, I'm sure he probably would have made this 11.
I was just about to ask that,
but they didn't, and also most of his goals were penalties. So Penhamed.
Can I just ask real quick, what age made someone old man in the tournament? Are we talking was it just over 30? Was it 32 and up? What was that age?
I'm going to be honest. I made this award for Penhamed Salah.
Okay. Hey, you got to show respect to Penn.
Yeah. I literally was like, what award can I give him, where he would sit there and he'd watch our podcast and be like, holy shit, I got an AFCON award. But also at the same time, it's a dig at him.
Yeah. It's like the big man getting a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. Stolen Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, whatever. That's a whole different podcast that we do.
Yeah. Sorry, Brett.
Dork of the tournament.
Okay, I was trying to figure out the DOT.
Yeah,
but that makes sense.
The tournament is the Moroccan Ball Boys for what they did with the towel. So they're the dorks of the tournament. And if I find out in my research that it was the coach or the president of the federation,
then it's them.
Then it would be them.
Because then they're acting on orders, which, listen, at the end of the day, you can't always act on orders, right? That's acting on orders doesn't absolve you of sin. But at the same time, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, kids are just going to do what they're told, and also do what the coach or the federation's this is what we need you to do to help lead your country to victory. You're going to do it, right?
100%.
I also think this is something that you and I normally would probably love, but the tomfoolery went a little too far.
A little too far.
If it happened once or twice to mess with Mendy, that's one thing. But the fact that it or if like they took it at one point and were like joking and then threw it back, that's funny.
Yeah.
The fact that it became like an actual like, all right, enough. You know, like once I turn into a boomer about something, yeah, now you're a dork.
Yeah, you're goofy.
You're
That's the goofy of the tournament.
Goofy, yeah,
Goofy of the tournament.
GOT.
GOT Game.
You're
of Thrones,
got. You're got.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Okay, yeah, those were my awards and team of the tournament, and that's AFCON in general. I'll see you all in 4 years. I'm actually quitting the podcast until the next AFCON comes around, and then I'm rejoining. So I'll see you everyone 4 years from now. It was a great ride. We're going to have another good AFCON coming up in 2029/30.
Good math. A quick clap for Pucc. Incredible coverage this entire time. A true savant. Like when we talk savant, this is what a savant performance is. Pucc, want to say not only like you didn't just like talk about AFCON, you actually enlightened and not taught us about AFCON, which I appreciated. And you were on the money. You got your champion correct. You were very close to getting the final correct, but we could see there was corruption throughout. So maybe you
also I taught you about Claude Leroy.
Yes, that was incredible. This is one of the first times that you've actually said something where I was like fake news and it wasn't fake news. Congratulations, Pucc. So again, a huge job by Pucc there. He did a lot of work when it came to AFCON, especially in like the preview. I know a lot of you probably remember it was like 45 minutes of just breaking down every team. He did a lot of research into this. So
wait, Ethan, take off your headphones real quick.
Headphones are on.
And if you're in the car, turn it down a bit. I love this game.
Pucc, thank you so much for having me take off my headphones. But really great work. The only thing you missed on was just not eating a gussie with me. But listen, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Some quick news. I thought we were gonna be getting another sacking this Monday. We've had, I think, 3 straight sackings. We technically did. We'll get into who the sacking is when it comes to our career mode. But Glasner went on a crazy rant, and two things. One, I don't really know how to feel about it because he's done this at every club where he falls out with the board and he just like becomes a prick. But I also get he's like, yeah, you just sold my captain the day before a big game, and on top of that, like now it looks like my Teta is going to probably go to Juventus. We're kind of going into transfer portal. There's now rumors that Wharton might go this window. It's like this is a Crystal Palace team that at one point, I think when we started the pod, they were in 4th place. And in literally a month, or maybe slightly more than a month, they're now like, I think 11th. They're in somewhere like in the mid tables and the whole thing. So Glasner goes on a huge rant talking about how he feels abandoned. I don't disagree. And he's like, I'm definitely not going to redo my contract. My understanding, I didn't know much about Glasner. Supposedly at every club this has happened to him. He falls out horribly. He just leaves. It is what it is. So he's a little bit in like the Antonio Conte range.
I also want to say this about Glasner.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a knock on him, and like each coach gets their start in different ways, but like he's coached at in terms of like big clubs like Wolfsburg, Frankfurt, and Palace.
Frankfurt is a big club.
Frankfurt's a bit. I'm wearing the sweat crew neck right now.
Preview.
But those 3 clubs in particular, like he's done extremely well in all of them. I think the only issue is he goes to clubs where they don't have enough financial ability to maneuver in the markets. So he's a guy where I want to see him go to a big club to see like, okay, like does it work or not? Because like if he does sit there and he's like talking all this shit, but he's like his system doesn't work at like a Man United, for example. I'm only using them because they have an opening right now.
Right.
But like if he goes there and it just doesn't work, then it's like, all right, dude, you can't talk about Crystal Palace like letting go of your players because like it's that's what it is.
Right, that's what the club is. I will agree.
Exactly. Like
the way it's happening is pretty bad. But
no. But like I agree with that. Like
in January.
Yeah.
In a year you've been doing well.
I think it's also like Crystal Palace never was going to be able to have the financial ability, B, the team ability to fight on 2 massive fronts in terms of Europe and the league. So like I do think like they're doing pretty well in Europa or Conference League. They're not doing well in the Prem right now, but it's also like they never really had the club. And in the summer, it's not okay. They win the FA Cup and they get all of this money for going into Europe, but it's like it's not enough to fill all of the gaps that like they needed depth, right? Where they need the depth, but then also like it's like okay, Eze, Gahey, and Wharton all of your best players, they're probably going to want to leave at the time, whether in the summer, January, or the next summer. So you know you have a year with them, and it's going to be tough to keep all of them. So you might as well get money for them. And then it's like you get the money for them, and then it's like, okay, well, now we just lost our best players, and we still need to add the depth, but now we also need to add the star quality. And it's just like it's not like where it's a Tottenham where you guys can basically be like, okay, we'll let Brendan Rodgers go for 45 million, and then we'll reinvest in somebody like bigger.
Right.
Like
which we don't do that
ideally,
anyway.
no, you don't. Like it hasn't happened. But like ideally, that's how it would go for a Tottenham. For a Crystal Palace, you sit there and you're like, okay, I guess we could use the 60 million on Eze, on one other guy to bring in that's a star, but then that doesn't help with our depth issue. But or we could bring in 2 or 3 guys with that 60 million, but then that doesn't help with our like raising the ceiling issue. It just raises our floor. Like it's like they're in such a tight space financially that I think for him to go out and like kind of bash the board for this, it's like it's tough because like we even saw it with Leicester when they sold Harry Maguire. They spent a ton of that money on fixing their training grounds and stuff like that.
Right. They had to.
They had to do so. Like we also don't know the Crystal Palace, like what they're using that money for. They could be using the money for upgrading the stadium, upgrading the facilities. Like it's not so like I think a lot of people were a lot of soccer fans get kind of like, well, we got 60 mil for this guy, we should go out and spend 60 mil on 1 or 2 players. Like that's not all of that happens. And I think, and Glasner knows that. I just think I agree with, I'm saying it a long way, but basically I agree with what you're saying where he went about it the wrong way. I understand if you're going to leave at the end of the year because you're not happy with how it's run, but don't keep bashing the club because at the same time, the club, it's not like you're at a Man United where like they have the ability to go out and sign somebody for 100, like a Diomande for 100 million and help you out. Like it's like they don't have that financial flexibility. So I don't understand how you can sit there and whine about we have to get rid of our best players when he's getting like 300K a week. And it's like Palace is like the best we could offer you would be like 150. Like I understand it from Gahey's perspective. I understand it from Palace's perspective. I don't understand it from Glasner seems to be like, well, everybody should want us. Like we should be able to. And it's like that's not the club you're at, brother.
Yeah, it's tough. It is what it is at this point. And when it comes to a team like Crystal Palace, they're not doing like a Bournemouth. Bournemouth, we talked about in a past episode, I think, with, like they sold 3/4 of their backline to some of the biggest clubs in Europe. And then Marcus Sensi, who has been playing for them, looks terrific. Now Juventus and Barcelona want to sign him. Like they don't recruit as well. I mean, I guess they did at one point.
I'll also say this though, like we said the same thing about Brighton years ago. We said the same thing about Wolves years ago. These teams, these quote unquote feeder clubs, they aren't built around let's make Europe every single year. If you look at a team like Aston Villa, that team that team is like, we're not
There's
a feeder
an ambition.
club. We are them, Newcastle, like those are teams where it's like we don't want to be a feeder club. Like we would rather go down on the opposite end than sit here and be like let's just be middling, make Europe once every 8 years with a good team and then sell everybody off and make money off of it and then do the same kind of recruitment strategy. I think it's kind of what Forest is trying to do, where they're like, Forest doesn't want to become a feeder club. It's just not what they have their own issues that we won't get into, but like they're trying to do that Villa path instead of a Brighton path. I think everybody saw Brighton and all owner wise, board wise, that could be a good way. Because Bournemouth, before they started doing this recruitment system, they were one of those flip flop teams. Prem Championship. I think that is not the way to go in terms of being a feeder club, because the best you get every single year is 9th place. And you're like, all right, we're still in the Prem. We made a ton of money. I don't know what's happening.
You okay?
Okay.
No problem. You're good, boss. That's Owen's interjection. I agree with you, Pucc. Yeah, we did stop the podcast, but I think it was a natural stopping point. All right, let's jump in here a little bit of the transfer portal. Pucc, do your thing.
Welcome to the transfer portal.
Beautiful. We've now entered. I mean, I agree, Owen.
You want me to redo it? I can redo it.
I'll give you one redo. We can't do this every week where you have to redo it. We only have 3 weeks of this. Not bad.
Welcome to the transfer portal.
Better. Made me feel something. All right, we talked about it a little bit. He's official to City for 20 mil, which holy fumble by Crystal Palace. Should have just let him go to Liverpool, and they got 35, and now they're getting 20. So you
No, it's 20 plus add-ons that could go up to 30.
I know, but still, you had 35. You had 35 in your hand, and you could have
20 is pretty good for a guy that's going to leave in 6 months.
I know, but you had I guess I get what you're
got
saying.
6 months out of him for what, 15 mil?
Yeah,
Worth it to me.
okay. This was, I don't know, Pucc, if you guys have seen this, but
I'm a Couillere, of course.
Of course you have. So Dro Fernandez, who Dro is
up and coming.
Yeah, he was one of the young players that came in from La Masia this year. An attacking midfielder who's just been getting minutes here and there when he could. Transparently, like most Barca fans have kind of said it, like when he's played, he's looked average, like nothing crazy, which again, like playing average at Barca is still pretty good, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like just an average player. He wasn't like a Lamine when he came up or a Kubarsi or even like a Mark Casado who's come up and like has struggled to find minutes. There's a chance he actually gets sold to this window, but it's like he at least came up here like, oh, he's got some promise. Dro is still very young. I think he's like 18. Yeah, he actually just turned 18. But so he actually paid his own release clause. Damn. I don't know. So in Spain, for those that don't know, in La Liga, every player has a release clause. Mm-hmm. You have to have it in your contract. It's just whatever. It's whatever BS rule. That's like why years ago Neymar, like that wasn't a negotiation. Like the release clause was paid. There was nothing Barca could really do. And that's why now Barca, when they put like Lamine's contract, when he signed a new one, it's like
a billion.
Yeah, because you have to. Like you have to put something crazy. It's like if you're going to pay $1 billion, take it, right?
Yeah.
So Dro paid his own $6 million release clause, which it is what it is, because he's going to PSG for more minutes. Hansi Flick was very upset about this. Hansi Flick, he had a whole thing in a press conference. He essentially did like a Pep Guardiola or Johan Cruyff, where it's like, you know, if you don't want to be here, you have no service to us. And he kind of said like, to be here, you have to like want to die for the colors. And if you're not, no problem. But supposedly, so Dro told him he was extremely upset, and he told Dro, he's like, no problem. You don't want to be here. You're paying your own release cost. You could leave the locker room. You're out of the team completely. Yeah. I mean, there's been no games played that he would have played. It's not like a starter doing this, but it was a big deal, especially because his agent, Ivan de la Pena, has now done this with Dro. He did it with Marc Gui. Was the same thing. Yep. So this, not to mention Ivan de la Pena, Espanyol player when he was in his career. So Hansi Flick and now Barcelona as a club is now advising all La Masia players to not sign with him. Because he's done this multiple times. Look at Marc Gui. Can't get a minute.
You want to know what this reminds me of? And Gui, I forgot. Like, that's a good mention, too. But the guy that went to...
Elias Moriba.
Yeah, I was never going to try and pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I knew you knew who he was. It reminds me of that.
Same exact thing.
Yeah, where it's like, I don't know if that was his agent, too. But
I don't think so, but yeah, go on.
No, but it's like the same thing where it's like, wait, you're leaving to go to another big club for more minutes who is probably the same, like, it would make more sense if you'd sit there and you'd be like, let me go to a mid-table La Liga club where I can get the minutes I need instead of a PSG where it's like the same thing's going to happen to. Like, the team just won the Champions League. Like, realistic, like, and I'm a Couillere.
Yeah.
Barca is a better team.
Thank you.
But the team just won the Champions League.
Yeah,
it's like sitting there and you're like, well, I don't think the Chiefs are going to win it this year because, like, I'm going to leave the whatever. Like, I don't know where I was going with that, but
no,
like,
I know what you're saying.
It's basically like, why are you going to go to a better team where it's going to be harder to get into?
Well, this is a Barca team that you, like I said, like Hansi Flick wasn't like, all right, leave. Like Hansi Flick was upset, like genuinely upset, and like tried to convince him. I don't know. Barca accounts posted when they won the Supercopa, that day was his 18th birthday, so Barca was working on a contract extension. But like on the plane, like they tried to give him like a cake to celebrate his birthday, make him feel included. And suppose like that was like the Barcelona players, they knew he wanted to leave. And that was like kind of like their last like attempt to be like, we want you here. What's frustrating me again, I'm not upset like in the sense, and I'm not really upset, but it just doesn't make sense. Moriba left because he was in contract talks. Again, he was going to sign his first professional and he expected like big wages. And I'm not saying Lewandowski, Frankie de Jong wages, but he wanted like proper professional wages.
Yeah,
and
like
Barcelona
starting for Barcelona.
Correct. And yeah, he was an exciting prospect because we didn't have someone of his build. He's like an athletic, large midfielder, which is not really like a La Masia build. But with Dro, it's like, so you're leaving Barcelona because Moriba went to Leipzig. You're leaving Barcelona to go to PSG team, which yes, of course, Enrique's there, potentially only for 6 more months, by the way.
Yeah.
But a midfield that's solidified. You have 3 guys in that midfield ahead of you who just won the Champions League, like João Neves. You have Vitinha, you have Fabian Ruiz. What are you, and not to mention Zaire Emery's on that bench, right? Like they don't really play with an attacking midfielder, and I can understand why PSG maybe want to bring that in. And again, he's a talented young player, but it's just like, what are you doing? And
yeah, I think it's a bigger issue in sports in general is a lot of these agents,
yeah,
like they try, like I already saw the Donnarumma's agent,
Yeah.
like in an interview this past week, basically saying like, yeah, like it would be great if Donnarumma was really like in life in Manchester, all of this,
Yeah.
yada yada yada. But yeah, if an offer comes from Italy, I wouldn't be shocked if we looked into it. And it's like the dude's been there for 6 months, and you're already talking about
I know.
like looking into like Italian clubs and stuff like that. And it's like some of these agents, it's like because you get an agent fee, so it's like,
Right, every
all right,
time.
might as well like, yeah, I got contacts
At
at
the end of the
so and so
day,
club.
it's the agent's job. But I don't like the agents that are in the media because this is them trying to be like, get some notoriety about them. So like Della Penna here, like I said, he's been with a couple of he's represented a couple of La Masia kids. I actually didn't realize this. So he actually came up at Barcelona. He was with Barcelona B. He came up, played for Barcelona, then he moved around a little bit and then finished at Espanyol. That's where he had the longest part of his career was at Espanyol. He spent 9 years there. So a lot of Barca fans are like, huh. The other crazy part about him is he's also Gavi and Eric Garcia's agent. Now, Eric Garcia just signed a 5-year deal. He's a Barca player. He is like, if you're like, oh, like what position is he? He plays right back for us. He plays center back. He plays DM when necessary. But he is honestly, like this season at least, if you're talking about proper defender, our best defender. He's found a role on the team.
I also think it's easier like when when players are an adult and can make the adult decision and sit there and be like a Gavi. I don't see
Gavi will never leave the club.
Yeah, like a Gavi and an Eric Garcia, like they are going to do most of like even if the agent goes to them and is like, man, I don't know, I think you should be getting X amount of money. Like I can talk to PSG, I could talk to Bayern for you. Like those guys are going to be like, I'm 20, whatever, like 4 or 5 years old.
Yep.
I want to stay at this club. You make it happen where I can get the best money and also stay at this club. Like that is your job in this situation. Like
100%.
As a young player, you could be more influenced by your agent sitting there being like, man, PSG's been asking about you. Like, I think maybe we take a look at that. Like, they said they said they're willing to bump whatever wages Barca's offering you. Like, so like as a young player, you're going to be like, that does sound good where I can go there. Meanwhile, like an Eric Garcia is going to be like, I've wanted to play for Barcelona my whole life.
He went to
I'm
Man
going
City.
to stay here.
Right. He left at one point. Barca had to get him back, which was a great transfer. I remember when it first happened, Barca was like, it was like, damn, this guy kind of has buns. He went to Girona on a loan, came back. He's been incredible. Gavi, though, I don't know if you remember when Gavi first came up, that summer was filled with reports of Bayern Munich will do whatever it takes. And then Luis Enrique just became, or maybe when this wasn't the same year, when Luis Enrique first became manager at PSG, it was like his number one target was Gavi and Pedri. Pedri wasn't leaving. He just signed a 5-year, whatever. Gavi, though, was somebody that he was like seriously trying to get. Gavi is the most Barca player through and through I think I've ever seen in my life. So like, I don't fear it, but it's just one of those things that's like, it just doesn't make sense. And I just fear he's going to be another one of these guys that we talk about. Like Marc Gui right now would probably be lined up right now to be the backup striker next year for Barca because Lewandowski's most likely out this summer. His contract's running out. And it's like, well, enjoy being part of like the lone army at Chelsea. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Enjoy being fifth string.
Yeah.
Mid-table Prem club.
So long story short, whatever, that was like big news in the Barca world. And it's just like you said, it almost goes like we're watching the college football game over here. It kind of goes like transfer portal type of stuff where it's like, really, that's the best decision for you? Staying on Barca, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen to Girona. I mean, it's not a here we go, but it's pretty much 95% confirmed at this point. Ter Statue's out for the end of the season, thank God. But also, Joan Garcia's played so well. It is like he had no spot.
Wait, hold on.
What are you looking?
Hold on.
No, that's the word. That's the word. That's the word.
Rato. El rato.
That sounds exactly how that word is. If you could understand rat, how are you so good at that?
I'm whistling like the Spanish.
Oh, I thought you were doing a rat noise.
No, I'm whistling.
Yeah.
I'm just not trying to do it too loud so it doesn't break your ears and listeners' ears. So I'm away from the mic going.
Someone's sitting with their dog and the dog's losing its mind. Yeah. So Ter Stegen, thank God, he goes to Girona on loan. Unfortunately, I think they're not taking on any of his wages. But honestly, for him, I know a lot of Germany fans were upset. They're like, oh my God, he's actually going to start for Germany at the World Cup now because he's playing. Another loan to Girona is Claudio Echeverri from Manchester City. Promising young player. I don't really know what he's been doing.
Interesting how that happens.
City Football Group.
Oh, is that why?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Oh, interesting. So you're telling me a player that has a lot of talent that they just signed 6 months ago is being loaned to a team in like 16th in La Liga.
Yeah, to help them.
Huh. Interesting.
True.
And there's like
City Football Group, by the way, is fully just like it's just Barca B in the sense of like
City Football Group is so corrupt.
Is it?
So corrupt.
So are the Cronkies. I was a former employee of City Football Group, and I'm willing to defend them.
I would agree with.
Okay.
Yeah, Cronkies being corrupt.
Who's more corrupt, Morocco, Man City, or Cronkies?
If I had to rank them,
or Real Madrid.
Gun to my head, I would go
Madrid number 1.
Cronkies 4.
Okay.
Morocco 3.
Okay.
City 2, and the Madristas 1.
Yeah. You had here Quentin Timber to Marseille. That's confirmed.
Yep.
Where is he leaving from?
He's leaving from Feyenoord.
Yes. Okay.
So him and Robin Van Persie is the manager of Feyenoord.
Thank you for specifying that.
His son Shakir also plays for them.
Okay, but I didn't think
Shaquille Van Persie.
Isn't this is gonna sound bad? Is his son actually named after Shaq?
Oh, I have zero clue.
Shaquille. Oh, nowhere near spelled the same.
No,
but the way you pronounced it. Okay.
Well, we've already gone over multiple times. I can't pronounce anything. But,
yeah, but it is Shaquille.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You said it correct.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So him and Robin had apparently a crazy falling out where Robin didn't even. I mean, Quentin Timber's their best player.
Okay. That's what I thought. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah. He's really, really good. He could play across the back 4. He could play midfield. Like he could he's like one of those Swiss Army knives, Dutch Army knives. And so they had a falling out where he didn't even play him on the weekend. And within 24 hours, Marseille was on it. No details have come out. All I saw was here we go from Fab.
Okay.
So I don't even know if it's a loan. I'm guessing it's a permanent, and I'm guessing it's quite a bit of money because he is a very expensive player. He's really good.
He's got 80 overall rating in FIFA and 85 potential. So
yeah.
And he's only 24. So pretty good player.
Yeah. So I think that's a great pickup for Marseille. Yeah. Like I know Marseille loves to do this like bargain bin hunting where they are like
and bad people.
But my point, like what's an out of favor player on like a big team right now?
Yeah. Well, that's smart.
They just like legitimately just go after those individuals.
It makes so much sense though, because you're playing at one of the biggest before PSG had all the success, the biggest team, if I'm not mistaken, in France. Other than that, maybe Lyon at that time, but like biggest team in France, like their fans are passionate, and a team that's competing kind of on all fronts.
They have a great manager too, De Zerbi. But yeah, I think the only issue with, and I don't want to get too deep into Marseille because we have a lot of other stuff to talk about, but their only issue with the bargain bin hunting in the transfer portal is sometimes you get a few bad eggs in that basket where we're talking about Mason Greenwood, Rabiot literally punching out a player and then having to be transferred out this summer along with the other guy that he punched out. Like you get like that type of situation where you're sitting there and you're like, I mean, these guys are good, but like they're all like have their own set of issues. It's like the bad news bears, for soccer. So
okay. Let's move down to some of the rumors. We won't spend too much time here. This is just us. So I saw this Jeremy Jacquet to Chelsea for 60 mil. So this is supposedly in my reading. It's prime Chelsea, like young, talented, super talented player. I saw Bayern were interested too, but it was one of those things that a lot of teams were weighing up a move for the summer. And it looks like now Chelsea, who have, I guess, identified him as like a player they want right now, have decided like they got to kind of move for him. So I saw it was reported for around 50, 60 mil. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. I mean, if you want my true thoughts on this, I mean, this is not what they need. They do need a center back,
right? But they need experience,
and he's exactly. Like he's 23. Like he's a really talented guy, but like it's not somebody that I'm sitting here and I'm like that moves. Maybe in 5 years it moves the needle for him. Maybe not even that long, but like it's not somebody that I'm sitting there going like, oh man, Chelsea could compete this season if they sign him. Like it's not really what they need. But
Charlie Cresswell, a guy we spoke about last week. So Wolfsburg are trying hard for him, and something I saw is West Ham are back in. So look at us savants. I think he's leaning a little bit more Wolfsburg. It seems like they're pushing harder, but West Ham apparently have interest. Enzo Fernandez, this is a report I saw that Chelsea are okay losing Enzo Fernandez this summer. I guess it's not but that was an interesting one for me. Weird.
I want to say that is like crazy news, but the way Chelsea have been moving under this ownership, I don't think anybody's safe. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I saw that Cole Palmer has like a 60 like mil or like a 50 million release clause.
That's it.
In his like a super like low release clause in his contract, where like they were like talking on Sky Sports about it, and they're like, yeah, I don't think anybody would move because like he probably is happy at Chelsea, but it's also like with this ownership group, nobody really know. I'm sure Chelsea fans as well, like they wouldn't be shocked if Enzo Fernandez leaves.
Yeah,
like, it's one of those things. And honestly, as a player, with all of the turnover that they've seen, like a guy like Enzo Fernandez has seen there, like I wouldn't be shocked if he's also like, I love the club, but like the way that we're run, like, do I ever think we're actually gonna like win anything like super important in terms of the league or Champions League? Like. And I know Chelsea fans are going to get on me for that, but like,
you're going to dislocate your other shoulder.
Yeah, like realistically, like as a player, I would be sitting there and I'd be like, with the ownership group in charge, like people forget that the last Champions League they had, I believe, was under Abramovich and Tuchel, because then the next season, the new ownership came in and fired Tuchel.
Right.
And set up their own.
Well, the last one was what, 2021?
Mm-hmm. COVID.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because
I think it was like between the Abramovich and the new ownership, where they didn't technically have an owner at that time. So yeah, like I just think under this ownership, because that's where Enzo Fernandez has been brought in at. He's seen so many different managers, and it's like
Chelsea was still owned at that point by Abramovich.
Yeah, like I don't, as if I was in Enzo Fernandez's shoes. He loves it. Like you could see he would die for the club.
Yep.
But at the same time, you also have to be thinking in the back of your head, like, I signed an 8-year contract. They're not going to try and re-up me anytime soon.
Of course not.
And like on top of that, like if I have the ability to go to a team that actually has like the will to like be like, last year wasn't good enough, we're going to sign stars and not like young, talented, could potentially become star type of guys.
Yep.
Like he has to look at that midfield and be like, yeah, okay, I got Cole Palmer next to me. I got Andre Santos. I got Caicedo. Like I have a good midfield.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like there's maybe PSG wants me. And now I have like Vitinha, like Fabian Ruiz, John Neves. Like,
yeah, you could definitely take that Fabian Ruiz role. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would be probably, I mean, the Barca midfield's still better. But that could probably be.
But like I could also see like maybe, and I don't think Barca would move for him, but I could see like a Real Madrid, a Barcelona.
Real Madrid are linked. That's
like I could see these teams basically, and he sits there and he's like, do I think with the team that Chelsea have right now could win a Premier League or Champions League within the next 2 to 3 years? Or do I think that Real Madrid or PSG or Bayern Munich team could?
Yeah.
And I think he looks at that. I would look at that and I'd be like, I'd rather go to the other teams because I don't know if the ownership has my back in terms of bringing in guys that could win now with the team that they have.
I hear you. All right, let's move on here. Jean-Philippe Mateta, we talked to us a little bit earlier. He's heavily linked to Juventus, which makes sense. Vlahovic is out of contract this summer. It's clear they're not going to re-up him. So Mateta, that would be a good move for him, honestly. And I think that'd be a good move for Juventus. That's just like, you know, sometimes in sports where it's like, oh, I didn't get the star player, but what I got was like just the consistent production. And I think that's what he is. And he tucks his shirt in.
Yeah. He's
easy.
Serie A coded.
Yeah. And he's bald, which is kind of awesome
Serie A
too.
coded.
Serie A coded. This is kind of a funny one. So Lorenzo Luca, who's a 6'7" striker, I think he's at Lazio.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Nottingham. I read a tweet about it. And it's like, so you're telling me that
no, he might be at Napoli.
I think you're right. I think he's at Napoli, actually. Wait, why am I backpedaling on Pucc is typing what's going on? He's at Napoli. You're right. Well done, Pucc.
Pucc remontada 2 in a row now. Got Claude Leroy and then Lorenzo Luca.
It's so annoying because I've been remontading people all weekend and now on screen, on camera, in 4K, in wave.hd. You got me. Yeah, he's 6'7", and it was like the league. Pucc keeps doing it. The league that now is all about set pieces and big throw-ins is now, you have a striker who's going to be 6'7" in the box. Not Owen's doing it. I hate these millennials. Or Gen Z. You guys are, by the way, Pucc is older than me. Owen's younger than me, so we're right in the middle here. But yeah, I don't know. Rumor I saw, I don't see why that deal wouldn't get through, especially because Nottingham just loaned Calamundo to Frankfurt. Preview. Yeah, funny one. We'll see how it goes.
I don't think it's going to go well.
Tell to leave Spurs. So this has been a big thing. So I think I mentioned a week or two ago that Tell has been looking at options with Paris FC, by the way, being the club that's interested in loaning him in. And now Frank today, so they play Champions League tomorrow. Frank has had to leave him out of the squad again to put in a Dom Solanke, who's probably not fully fit. And I think Richarlison's still in the team. So if I'm Tell, and apparently his camp is like pissed off about all this because he's actually found form. He's actually looking good for Spurs. We need him. We don't have a winger fit, and he could play the wing. Really, really frustrating if he leaves, but it's like, this is why Frank needs to go. Noah Lang to Gala. Pucci wrote this one down. Tell me about it.
Yeah, weird one. He just signed this past summer from PSV to Napoli, and now Napoli are looking to get rid of him to Galatasaray. I think it was an interesting one because of that, where it's like 6 months. I mean, he has not played well, so like it makes sense that they'd want to move him on. It's classic Serie A, where it's like you haven't worked for 6 months. We're getting rid of you. And then also classic what we were talking about last week with the Turkish league, how it's like it's just become an arms race between Galatasaray and then also Fenerbahce, where both teams are just stocking up on like elite European talent to try and beat each other. I think it's one of those, it's like a chess type of thing where they saw Fenerbahce go after N'Golo Kante, and now they're like, well, we're going to move our ace in the hole to Noah Lang and try and add him to our team. So it's very interesting to me how both those two Turkish teams are just feels like out of nowhere. For years, the Turkish league was kind of just like, we'll take like the 37-year-old striker like on loan for 6 months. Like we'll take all of your unwanted guys on loan. Now they're like, screw it, we'll pay $50 million for Noah Lang to come here after 6 months of failing at Napoli.
I've never been a Noah Lang guy. I just think he's overrated. I don't know what he does.
I think he's extremely overrated as well.
I don't know what he does. And then I like this one. You wrote it down. This is something I forgot to write. Pepe to the Prem. Ricardo Pepe, just to be clear. I would love this. I mean, he's been in great form. What, at PSV? Yeah, that's where he is. Yeah, I'm just confirming. This would be awesome, especially ahead of the World Cup. In my eyes, he is our true striker. For the U.S. Oh, and no. Well, I mean, I know it's like, well, no, Balogun's in the squad for sure. But at the end of the day, it's whoever one of those two is in form.
Do you guys
is Balogun in form?
No.
Daryl DK.
Haji Wright.
Haji Wright's been playing well.
I love Haji Wright. Haji Wright's so underrated for the U.S. men's national, or like for U.S. strikers in general. I know we have kind of an influx of like average strikers, but like it's very true. Like all of our strikers are either like they get a hat trick or you don't even realize that they're playing that game. But Haji Wright to me is the guy who I thought last year should have gotten a move to the Prem. He didn't. He stayed at Coventry. I think if they go up to the Prem, I think he will stay. But like he's a guy who in 2 years I could see getting a big move if Coventry go down after they get into the Prem, and like him staying up with like a Fulham.
Here's my thing with Balogun. Right? He's played 14 total matches for Monaco. He started 10 this year. He is 4 goals, 2 assists. Not bad. It's just he's not like yes, I know he's probably our most talented striker, right? Like if you just you put them all on the same field, he's probably the one that impresses you the most. But at the end of the day, like, and this is, we're not getting into USA talk, we're getting into a lot of that before the World Cup. Yeah, you can't wait. Yeah, Mr. Ireland.
The goddamn United States.
True.
Amen.
Amen, brother. Hell yeah. USA. Yes. Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
He's hurt, but like Fulham put in a bid earlier this week for 30 mil for him. So, and PSV rejected it. So I do think I think he is hurt, but I think he's coming back soon.
I mean, I guess we'll see how he does. If he does make the move to the Prem, which would be awesome. You're right. He did snap his arm. He has in 15 matches played, he has 8 goals. So you see what I mean?
Here. I did the same exact thing. I dislocated my shoulder and tore my labrum.
Long story short, I like Pepe. I'd love to see him in the Prem. That's how you get that experience.
I honestly think Fulham would be an amazing fit for him.
Amazing.
He can learn from his North American brother and Raul Jimenez, and then Jimenez retires and Pepe takes over as Fulham's striker for the next decade.
And the other thing, and Anthony Robinson whipping in crosses to him and them connecting.
And another thing, Clint Dempsey used to play for Fulham.
Yes, that's awesome, Pucc. History lesson. Yeah, that'd be fun. I like it. But all right, that is our transfer portal. We'll obviously keep updating you guys as the window, where it's January 20th right now. So what do we got? We got 10 days left here in the window, or 11 days, January 31st. So I think we have another 3 episodes in this. But now let's move into our career mode. sponsored by EA Sports FC 26. When we go ahead and get it, I think it's half off right now. So super exciting. Live star points, original career mode, super fun. My favorite game mode. Yeah, Volta's super fun too, but has nothing to
Extra dime. We get 15% more. If
Yeah.
you mention Volta.
Actually, no, not Volta. Ultimate Team. If you spend
Yeah.
$100 in FIFA points, you actually get, and we're going to throw in $15 on top of that to get you
Yep.
more points.
Use code
Mm.
classes permanent to get that.
Yeah, good. So the team we've decided to go with today, we wanted to try and switch up the league. So today we've gone with the Bundesliga. If you could not understand from our previews and our foreshadowing earlier, we have decided to go with Eintracht Frankfurt. Pucc is wearing a shirt that says, what is it? Frankfurter Legend?
Yeah, and on the back, it's all the legends that have played for the club.
You want to name a few?
So right now, Frankfurt
Who's
is
on your back right now?
seventh. Right now, Frankfurt is seventh in the Bundesliga
Okay.
on 27 points.
Yep.
They have their goal differentials -1. They're 30th in the Champions League table on
Yep.
4 points. And Ethan, do you want to take away the recent form?
Yeah, I added this too. I think last time it was good. Everyone knows West Ham, but it's good just to give an idea of recent form. So we'll start with we'll go 5 games recent form. We'll start with their the game that's the furthest back in the past. So they beat Augsburg 1-0. They drew Hamburger SV 1-1. They drew Dortmund 3. What?
It's Hamburg, not hamburger.
No. I looked this up because I wrote ham.
You're getting BTA'd today.
Dude, it literally says hamburger on their Wikipedia and on their website.
Back me up here. Yeah.
It's Hamburger Sport Welle.
Show me. Now do the audio on Wikipedia and tell me what it says.
I don't know if this is going to play through. Hamburger Sportwein.
Say it again. Do it again.
It literally says hamburger.
GG's.
GG's.
You're right.
Remontada to your ass. I literally wrote Hamburg down.
But the city is Hamburg.
Okay, great. But that doesn't matter to me.
That's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm saying it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Dortmund and Stuttgart are the same. So that's why I thought that it would be Hamburg, not hamburger. Hamburger Sportsfan.
Sorry, little tangent. Bundesliga team names like insanely long. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's just
German.
That's just German though. Like I feel like every time I see German, it's like letters that also don't make sense together. But they then drew Dortmund 3-3. I actually talked about that on the pod a couple weeks ago. Really, really sick game. And I was like, oh, Frankfurt are good. They lost to Stuttgart 3-2. And then recently, this past weekend, they drew Werder Bremen 3-3. And because of that, and because of the recent form, I think, in Champions League and just how they've been playing, Dino Topmola was sacked on Sunday. Marco Rose has been identified as the preferred replacement. It looks like he's coming in. They're just kind of negotiating, getting things done there. So going into this, they've been playing a 4-2-3-1. Marco Rose kind of plays a 4-2-3-1. He's flexible where he kind of goes 4-2-2 diamond. 4-4-2. I don't know if I said 4-2-2 or 4-4-2. Diamond, a 4-3-1-2 or 4-2-3-1. He focuses on central overloads and high compact pressing with intelligent counter pressing, utilizing fullbacks for width and diagonal passing and buildup to create space and overload the opponent in advanced areas. His fullbacks are an important spot. They need to provide width and overlap. His forwards, so he usually features kind of like 2 strikers with one that's, like your classic, right? Like one a little bit more physical, big guy up top in the box, and then one being a little bit more link-up play.
Yep.
And then his number 10 is crucial. Whether dropping deep or staying advanced, depending on the setup. So let's go in real quick, Pucc. Why don't you take us through their actual signings and sales this past window?
Really hoping you wouldn't have made me do this.
Yeah, let's say the names.
Really tough names.
Let's say the names.
Do you actually know the names or no?
Yes, because I watched that game.
Okay. So they've signed Jonas
Good.
New Talib.
Okay.
8 mil from Elfsberg.
Yep.
Who is a center forward, 23 years of age. They've signed Kita Kasugi, 19, left back. 6.5 mil from Djurgården.
Yep. Famous team, for those that don't know, in Sweden that has produced like Bergvall. A lot of good players have come out of there. Pucc has no idea.
No, I know them.
Yeah, sure.
They've also picked up Love Arvhov, 17 attacking midfielder, 4.6 million from.
Yeah, I got no idea. Broma Puj Karna.
Klarna. We'll call him from Klarna.
Yep.
And then Arun Kalmiendo, 23 striker on loan from Forest.
Yeah, we mentioned that a little bit earlier.
Yep.
And then they have not sold anybody this window. They did loan out Elie Wahi, 22 center forward, to Nice.
That guy, let me just tell you about Wahi. he's going to become the next Alberto Morata.
Okay,
And
where
he's
he just
already
moves
like
around.
that at 22 because he will be for the next decade.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm seeing this.
Yeah, he'll be like for the next decade one of these players where everybody's like, man, he has the ability. He just hasn't kind of put it all together. Like,
Yeah,
and like, so like it'll always be like, what's his SoFi potential?
81.
81.
74 overall.
Yeah, but like 81 probably is too much for him. Like he's going to be one of these guys that will move around. He'll have one really really good year. He reminds me of Kulumane
Yeah.
Tottenham now, where it's like he gets that one crazy year where it's
Yeah.
like everybody's like, oh my God, he's next up.
Every team like wants a chance to try and like unlock him. They see the potential of like, if we just unlock him, we may have
this keen.
Yeah.
That's his prototype, is one of those guys where like every team wants to unlock him. So I wouldn't be shocked if he goes crazy at Nice and then Nice drop like 40 mil for him and then he does nothing there. But yeah. Okay. Should we go into?
Yeah. So let's talk real quick a little bit just again about the club, right? So their typical starting 11, at least their most recent and what my understanding. So like I said, they've been playing a 4-2-3-1. So they have this Brazilian goalkeeper they signed this past summer, Kawa. K-A-U-A.
Yeah. That sounded good to me.
At left back, they've been starting Arthur Teat. I think that's how you say it. At left center back, they've been starting Robin Koch. At right center back, they've been starting Enmondi Collins. At right back, Christensen has been from Leicester. No, Leeds. But I think I think the only reason he's been starting though is because Elias Baum has been injured and he'll be back in February. So something to keep in mind there, because Christensen can also play center back. And then so a big issue they have with this team, right? They have a ton of defensive mids.
Yeah.
They have a couple of attacking mids. Their front three, so to say, is pretty good. They have like zero proper center midfielders. I mean, they're let's go through their DMs. They have Mohamed Dahoud. They have this guy Chayabi. We really suck at pronunciation.
Chayabi plays for Morocco, I believe.
Yes. And so he's recently playing as like a cam for them because Mario Götze is hurt. But he's really more like a defensive mid. This old head, Sakiri, Skiri, Oscar Højlund, not to be confused with Rasmus Højlund, and then Hugo Larsson.
Larson, I had such high hopes for him.
Yeah. At attacking mid, Mario Götze, Kaan Uzan, and then at left wing, they have Nathaniel Brown, I believe his name. He's an American.
German national. Like he plays for the German national.
Is that confirmed?
System, I'm pretty sure.
Then they have this kid, Jean Bahoya, striker, like we said. So they have Calamundo, who has been loaned in, so that's new. But I believe that they're more consistent strikers. Jonathan Burkhardt, who's hurt.
I think he has 8 goals this year. I think he's top 5 in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, he's in good form, but unfortunately he's hurt. So that's especially why they got Calamundo in. They also have Doan, I think he's Japanese right winger. And then they also have this guy, I put him as right wing, but he plays across the entire front three and even cam. Ansugar Knoff, Knauf, for those that care. So I think when we identified, the first thing that we always do is we look at realistic links, right? They've been extremely linked to a proper center midfielder. And I think now with Marco Rose coming in, a big thing that comes with him, right, is he needs his midfielders to be very, very like high energy. They want to press high up the field. And I think with his defensive midfielders, he doesn't really have that, at least not in my opinion. So that's a big spot. I think that's probably the biggest spot we'll be looking to reinforce. And just to be clear with Frankfurt, right, this isn't a relegation battle. This is let's try and get into European spots in the Bundesliga and then in Champions League.
Finish respectably.
Yeah, well, they win this, I guess tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll get into when they play. Gets them at least in the idea of things in the knockout round. So there is a chance here. So I think this is also part of the reason they fired him, is like they still have a chance to kind of salvage the year, and like they want to do it. And I think Marco Rose, I don't know who their old coach was. Like I've never heard of his name. Marco Rose is a more high profile. Let's jump into it a little bit. You know, last time we started with sales, and I think this is probably a good spot to start. First one we have here, and I'm going off some realistic stuff.
Real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to call timeout.
Timeout.
I do have to say I may have cheated a bit.
How'd you cheat?
I did a Frankfurt. I didn't want you guys to find out like this.
Oh, no.
Sorry. This is tough for me. I did a Frankfurt career mode in FC or FS, whatever it is nowadays.
26.
24.
Oh, in 24. Okay.
Yeah.
That may have just been FIFA, by the way. I think FC 25 is, Owen's giving me a nod. Big gamer. Yep.
Oh, so I didn't cheat then.
You did and you didn't, but okay. So you already know this squad relatively well.
Oh, yeah, very well.
Oh,
FC.
24 was the first FC. Okay, tell me.
Yeah.
Cheat.
Most of this squad. Yeah, I know pretty well.
Oh, so you just been letting me sit here when you should be leading this, and you were like, "No, I'll let you lead it."
I'm not good with I really did not want to do all the names.
I could do the names. Just you help me build the squad.
Yeah, I know.
And Marco Rosa's image.
I put a lot of names in there, didn't I?
You did. You put more than I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put all the realistic stuff. I was working today. Pucc had the day off, and wasn't.
I didn't have the whole day off. I was in an MRI chamber.
Dude, that's not my problem.
I actually fell asleep during the MRI.
Yeah, fact. See, you should have been thinking about this.
I wasn't. I was like, she was like, "Oh, are you claustrophobic?" I was like, "Nah." And then I got in there, and then I was like, "Holy shit, I'm claustrophobic."
I'd freak out.
And I was like, I started freaking out, and I was like, I feel way too like close. And then I just closed my. She's like, "What type of music do you want?" I was like, "I don't know, whatever music you'd listen to." Trying to rizz her up, and
you literally have a girlfriend.
And then
close.
Not close. And then she.
To date.
And then she just put on classical music, and I hate classical music.
Yeah,
and then I ended up just falling asleep.
Low key though, she actually helped you. Because imagine if she put like, I don't know, like Pop Smoke. You'd be in there, you know what I mean? You'd be moving.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
She like the way that I rock.
Yeah.
She like the way I...
She was very...
She gonna make a clap for a Pucc.
She was very confused when she pulled me out of the MRI thing, and she saw that I was like clearly groggy and sleepy. She was like, "Did you actually fall asleep?" Because I told her before, and I was like, "I'm gonna fall asleep."
Yeah, she was a sleepy boy.
Yeah, and she was like, "Wait, did you actually fall asleep?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, I thought you were joking," and I was like, "No, I fell asleep."
Good
30
question.
minutes.
30 minutes?
That's what she told me. The first person in the waiting room said 15. And then when I got in there, I was like, "Oh, so what? It's going to be like 15 minutes?" She was like, "No, 30. And I was like, "Oh, okay." But I fell asleep. To me, it felt like 5 minutes. Like I was like, "Oh, that was really quick. I thought I'd get a longer nap."
I'm gonna have to cut that from before. Anyway, that was funny though.
Yeah, we didn't actually have to talk about the MRI.
Anyway, so let's get into this. So I again, we always want to go realistic. So I'm going off some of the realistic things I've seen. So our boy Højlund is looking like he might be going on loan, linked to Besiktas. We're just gonna, that's fine. Go. We have so many DMs. Like go enjoy yourself. Audiel Amenda, who is kind of like a right center back for them. He's been in and out of the team. Actually, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, right center back. I was right. I thought I wrote right back. He's looking like he may be going on loan. Where did I write this down? To Celtic. That's a possibility. And I saw something that his agent was like, "Yeah, we're like exploring the market." So we'll see if they do that, but I think it makes sense. And then Larson, who is likely to leave in the summer. A lot of teams are trying to circle for him, like including Bayern and Dortmund. I think like maybe this is a chance for us to move him on now, because if you're going to lose him, then maybe we get some money back.
Hugo Larsson's so good though, but I agree with what you're saying. If he's likely to leave,
well, let's
get rid of him. But he is very good.
Well, right now Larson, right? He is one of our DMs. I was going to start Dahoud. You know what? You're right. No, I was going to start Dahoud, and I was going to start Chiabi next to him.
No,
I wasn't. You know why? Because this is where our center mid signing is going to go. He'll play as, another DM, but like we'll be okay here. So Højlund, let's just go off. Larson.
Look at Larson though.
Oh my God, I didn't know he had 86 potential.
Yeah, and he's 21. Like that's why I was saying like he's so good.
Larson, welcome back to the midfield.
My only thing is I agree with you. Like I don't know if he'd resign.
No, he's not. Like he's gonna.
Yeah. So like at this point, it's kind of like a Gahey situation where you're sitting there and you're like, I mean, you could probably, his market value is 31.5 mil. You can probably try and move him on for like 30, 40, or not even, maybe 25 mil since his contract's running out.
You know what? Here's what I'm gonna say. Let's keep.
Although
Larson.
wait, no. Oh, never mind.
It's not about his contract. It's just that he's likely to be sold in the summer.
Yeah, let's
Let's keep him. I changed my mind there. So we're not going to do too many sales. I think we're going to give ourselves a $45 million budget here.
Yep.
45, 50, whatever you want. I don't know why I said 45. That being said, at center mid, and honestly, so they've been linked to this guy, Sergi Altamira. From Betis, young midfielder. It looks like the move didn't happen. That being said, let me give you some of his stats. Again, sponsored by FIFA. This is career mode. And, I was kind of like, oh, don't be that guy that's using FIFA. I don't care, man. This is my podcast. I'm going to do what I want. 83 potential, 77 overall. The problem is another DM, right?
Yeah.
Like primarily 6'2". His best traits are more sort of like defensive ability, his physicality. Like, I don't want to sign that. I don't need that. Another option we had here was Rocco Reitz, right?
Yeah.
I believe from Mönchengladbach. If I'm correct. Yeah. 77 potential.
Yeah.
83 potential. I'm sorry.
Mönchengladbach are in a situation right now where they're kind of in that they're not going to be in a relegation fight and they're not getting Europe, and he's tradable asset. Like he's an asset. He's 23.
Yep.
Where you can see like his value right now is 16.5 million euros. You can see maybe a team like a Frankfurt that are in need of it. They were linked with him a week or two ago. They may overpay to bring him in and add more depth to like as like a true center mid.
Yeah. And then the other thing with him, and then the third one, which I really like this shout from Pucc, Leon Goretzka on a loan. So Goretzka is probably leaving Bayern this summer. I know Barca has been linked because, again, he brings that profile that I mentioned earlier with Moriba, where it's like that physicality. What I like about this guy is he is Brett.
Yeah.
He's going to work his tail off. He's good technically. If we're talking FIFA here, he's pretty much 80 across all his stats: pace, shooting, passing, dribbling, defensive, physicality. Big guy too, right? 6'2". We all seen the pictures of him. He's jacked. Also, forgot to mention rights. I saw him when I was looking up his profile. Same birthday as me. Cool.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Anyway, Goretzka's birthday's coming up. He's about to be 31. But I think this could be an awesome loan.
If I could jump in real quick.
Of course.
Like, it's a great loan because realistically, Goretzka's not want to be at Frankfurt for like the next kind of portion of his career. Like he knows he's moving on. He knows Barca's linked with him, all of this, but he also knows like right now he's not getting into the German national team and he needs consistent playing time to show that he can. And what's a better team to go to than a team fighting for a berth in the round of 32 for the Champions League, as well as fighting for the Bundesliga, not title, but like European spots. It's kind of, you know, the league already. I believe he's worked with, no, I'm lying. He hasn't worked with Marco Reus, but like he probably, I mean, if you're in the league and you have a manager that's been around the league, you know how they kind of want you to be. I think it makes the most sense. Now, the only thing is, Frankfurt has kind of become one of these feeder clubs that we were mentioning earlier, where they do like to sell for big money a lot of their players. Think of Ekitike last summer. They've done it with players in the past as well. So I'm sure that they don't want to bring in. That's why I think they're linked with Rocco Reitz and Sergio Almatira, because they are younger players. But also at the same time, if I was them, I'd bring in two center mids, in my opinion, Rocco and Leon Goretzka. That way you have a guy that can learn even 6 months under Leon Goretzka how to play the position. But yeah, those were mine.
Cool. I think this is good. We're going to be able to save some money here. With this, I like the idea of bringing him into the midfield. He's a proper center mid. Obviously, he's going to do his defensive works, but I think if we're talking about high energy in the midfield, that's what you kind of got here. I know someone who's a Bayern fan is going to be like, what do you mean? He's like a 18-wheeler turning around nowadays. I don't care. I like this. This is fun. So he will slot into our midfield. So I think if we're talking starting lineup, it would be Goretzka with Dahoud next to him. So Dahoud, in my eyes, at least, and again, we're gonna do a little research. And I know most people are like
Mohamed Dahoud.
Most people are like, wait,
he used to play for Dortmund.
Yeah, most people are like, wait, but Ethan, like, shouldn't you guys do your prep before the show? Yeah, but isn't it more fun listening to us to brainstorm instead of just us saying stuff at you?
Yeah, it's career mode. This is what you do on FC 26.
Go buy it.
Go buy it right now.
What I like about Dahoud is a little bit more of like a deep line playmaker type of idea in my eyes. And then you put a guy next to Goretzka who could do some of the dirty work.
Yeah.
So
it's like a box to box.
Yep. You also have this guy Chiabi. Yeah. In my understanding of him, again, he was playing a little bit of attacking mid here. So if this is the case with him, right, he's another one that could probably sit a little deeper, and his best stats, again, are kind of like his passing, his dribbling, things like that, where he could even play next to Goretzka if you really wanted. And then you probably have someone a little younger, could probably move a little bit better. He played for Algeria at AFCON, just so you know.
Oh, got that wrong.
But I like this. And then we also talked about Hugo Larsson, who will stay in this team. Hugo Larsson, again, just to give people an idea.
Yeah, and like Chiabi and Larsson can both basically be a backup to Goretzka as well.
100%.
Like you have 4 now true center midfielders, a couple DMs. Like
here's how I'm lining them up. I'm playing Larsson and then Goretzka next to him and then so Larsson's kind of pulling the strings a little bit. Goretzka's making the runs. Now, when healthy, we're kind of good at attacking mid, right? You have Mario Götze, you have Kaan Uzan. Our next position, I think what we were looking at is striker. So this is more so that what they're doing in real life. They were kind of looking for somebody, and I think they were again looking for goals, another player that can just add to that attack a little bit because they've been struggling in that regard. If that's the case, Pucc, why don't you talk about who you put here?
I put Brahim Diaz. So we all know Diaz at AFCON, how he performed really well, missed a Panenka penalty, unforgivable. But they just signed Calamundo. Burkhart is hurt. So I don't think it's the worst for them to have 3 strikers, especially with one of them hurt right now. I know Knopf can also play that position. I'm sure Doan can. He has a lot of speed. Bahoya can. He has speed as well, like good finishing. So I do think that they have proper backup for the 2. But I mean, Brahim Diaz probably wants to leave anyway from Madrid. He's not getting any time. Like, he's probably on his way out. And once again, it's another move that the Goretzka move it's similar, where it's like, here's a guy that wants to kind of play for 6 months before the World Cup. Consistently start. I think if they bring him in, he would start immediately, especially with Burkhart hurt right now. Obviously, once Burkhart comes back, there could be a discussion. But if Diaz is going kind of nuts, I could see them basically being like, yeah, you're going to take a back seat to Brahim. And I think it just shores up the options in attack, because now you essentially have 7 attackers for 3 positions,
who can rotate.
Yeah, exactly. And Diaz could play a winger position. I mean, that's technically what he is. Like, he is a winger. He's not a striker. But you saw what he can do at striker. So I think it would help kind of with the depth situation, as well as raising the ceiling of the starting 11, bringing in Brahim.
I agree with you. And if it's a loan again, I mean, this is probably something that's a little unrealistic, only because I saw like Spurs and some of the big clubs are circling, like, would want him too. But that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're having fun with it. And then Pucc put goalkeeper. They just signed a goalkeeper this summer. I'm going to let Pucc rock here again. This is his club at this point.
So I mentioned this guy a few weeks ago on the episode where my Wi-Fi was really shitty, in terms of a player that could move this window. It's Mio Backhaus for Werder Bremen. He's a young goalkeeper. I mentioned him going to Bayern Munich. I really like him. Werder Bremen is in a position where, once again, they're like a Mönchengladbach, where it's like they're not going to be in a relegation fight, but they're also not anywhere close to a European fight. They're kind of just middling for the rest of the season. So I don't love any of their keepers. I know you mentioned the young Brazilian that they brought in. They're also looking to get rid of their backup goalie right now this window. So it's like they probably will go after a keeper. I think it helps because having those 2 young goalkeepers, like, it creates competition, and it creates a good kind of, all right, let's see, let the best man win. I think Backhaus would win that immediately.
Good guy.
But that's the way I'd go with goalie.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back. And also the other thing is, so that backup goalie that they have, Michael Zerder or whatever his name is, he's linked because I guess they are looking to bring in another keeper. He's linked with going back to Werder Bremen, even on loan, because he wants to play. And he's not playing. One other player I think we can maybe look at for striker that kind of fits what we're talking about here, Daizan Maeda from Celtic. This is a guy that's been cooking out there. And I just feel like this is like kind of a very, I don't know if it's just because like he reminds me of like, wasn't Doan playing on Celtic?
Oh, I don't know. But Celtic did have under Ange, a big Japanese.
That was him.
Culture shift there.
Doan played at Groningen. That's where I got the green from.
Got it.
But yeah, I would love to see also this guy. What's his name? Maeda. He's 27 years old. He's a smaller forward, so it actually works with kind of Calamundo, and he can play across the front 3. And I presume has a little bit of a cam. He's got some speed in the game. He's got 92 pace, but 79 physical, 76 dribbling, and 79 shooting. This feels like the type of guy that can really get in there, get dirty. His value is 18.5 million. What do you want to do here? Do we want to go a little bit more realistic, or do we want to go with Brahim?
Go with the realistic. I don't know. The thing is, I think Celtic wouldn't get rid of him unless you offer an exorbitant amount of money. But at the same time,
they just signed a young striker.
And also at the same time, we're taking Goretzka on loan. So we have 45 mil to work with. We already spent 20 in real signings. So we're down to 25. So what was his value? 18.5?
Yeah.
So like you sit there and you're like, probably 25 would do it.
I think so. And on top of it, a little bit on the older, quote unquote, older side, where Celtic they just signed like this like Irish like wonder kid striker or like
Troy
this kid.
Parrott.
No, this kid knew. Ooh, maybe that's
That's actually not a. That's a cheeky shot.
Troy Parrott makes the move. Where's Parrott right now again?
PSV.
That might be tough. Is he starting? No, obviously not. No, he's at Alkmaar.
What's his value?
Ooh, Callum Wilson.
He said he's going to stay.
I saw that. Of course he is. I typed in Parrott, thinking it would come with Troy Parrott. It's just showing me birds. Shout out Lidar. He likes birds. Troy Parrott is linked with Troy Parrott urged to avoid Tottenham Hotspur return by ex-Ireland forward. That's great. Ooh, Evan Ferguson.
No.
It may be tough to get him if he's going back to England to not, but I don't mind a little cheeky Troy Parrott up top.
Screw it. Let's do Troy Parrott.
Let's do Troy Parrott. He. Troy Parrott, welcome to the squad. Yeah, I mean, so let's give a lineup, right? So at striker, you're probably still going Callum. No, I'm not sure.
I would go Troy Parrott.
Yeah, we signed him. Troy Parrott's coming in. All right, at goalkeeper, we are going to go with Pucc's guy, Mio Backhaus. At left back, so this is what's interesting about them signing Kasugi, because this was going to be a spot they needed. So Arteta has been playing left back, but he's really a left center back.
Yeah.
So I think the reason I signed him is to move him over to left center back, right? So he can play there properly. Whether the right center back goes to Koch or Collins,
it's going to be Pucc.
I think so too. So Pucc plays there.
Pucc is like been their best defender this year.
Yeah, he's been very good. So Kusugi, who is also like an exciting left back, he like wants to get up the field. At right back, I think we'll stick with Christensen. They have this guy Aurelio Buta, who's a young Portuguese exciting player. I don't know. Maybe for Marco Rosa, he's a better fit because he's kind of got the ability to move up and down the pitch a little bit easier. I'll tell you, so FIFA. Yeah, pacey right back, 87 pace, 77 dribbling. At DM, we will go Hugo Larsson. At center mid, we'll go Goretzka. And then at cam, who do we want to do across this back three, or excuse me, this front three? Because I know it's Mario Götze at the moment, but I'm thinking that maybe Knof at cam. I don't know.
Are we doing like a fully healthy team?
I'm kind of going with what they can play with tomorrow.
Then yeah, I'd put Knof
there, Doan off the right, and then I like Nathaniel Brown off the left.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, or even Jimbo Hoya is not a bad option too. And then a striker, I think we said that we're going to start Troy Parrott. They'd probably start Calimundo because he's big, but that right there was our Eintracht Frankfurt team. I think the goal here, most people are like, you didn't even make any crazy signings. I think the goal here is improving the depth and giving you some more flexibility in certain positions, which they did a little bit on their own. But I think this helps you push to kind of get a couple more wins, especially with some of these injured players, and adds a little bit of experience. Owen, thoughts? Liked it or no? Which was better, this or West Ham?
I think I like this a little more.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
It's a little more creative.
Yeah.
Like West Ham or
Yeah.
Too realistic.
Well, West Ham are just so screwed. Like, there's no saving them other than the fact that Dr. Tottenham showed up. Alrighty, let's move into the weekend recap. So we had a bunch of Prem. We had a lot of soccer this weekend. Starting in the Premier League, our match of the week was the Manchester Derby. United beat City 2-0, and Buemo scored a nice goal. Dorgu, finished him off with a 2-0. Pucc, why don't you give us your thoughts?
That felt good.
Yeah. Oh, no, that sucked for me.
United played, I think, spectacular under Carrick.
Yeah. New manager bounce.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Kobe Mainu did to Amarin, but the fact that guy couldn't get a minute,
I know,
and
I know,
he's Man United's best midfielder by far is crazy.
Free him.
I think United need to work a bit on offsides training because they probably could have won this game 5-6-0.
Yeah.
But they were offsides that many times. No, I really like this team. I think one thing will be interesting to see is when you get a fully fit Diallo back, you get Mazraoui back from AFCON. Those are two guys that I think should be starters on this team.
Yep.
And I think it'll be interesting because with the 4-2-3-1, I mean, we talked about it in length, I think a week ago.
Yep.
How their attacking options or their options in general more fit to a 3 in the back. You're now going to have this influx of, you're going to have Diallo, Dorgu, who I guess could play fullback. He didn't this game.
Yeah, he played like proper left mid, or I guess.
Yeah, but like you have those guys. You have Mbeumo, you have Cunha.
Cunha came and got himself a little cheeky little assist.
Yeah, like you have bunch of options at the winger position. So it'll be interesting to see how they go forward. But I think for them, it's going to be they play Arsenal this weekend.
What's making Owen giggle?
So
say it. What's making you giggle? You can't. Okay. Mystery 11. Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see how they approach the Arsenal game away. I think that will be another thing, because if they come away with points in general, I think like they're going to go on a bit of a run because their schedule after that's pretty easy. But the game in general, I think they fully outclassed City. I think one of the moments that I loved was Bernardo Silva losing out to Harry Maguire and then trying to push Maguire. Maguire just throws him into the boards.
Your favorite guy.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing right there, why I even brought up about Bernardo Silva weeks ago, where I was like, he's a guy that I think I could beat up, and I would beat up. It's because of stuff like that, where it's like, why are you doing, like, a Kevin De Bruyne would never do that. Like, De Bruyne would just run back. David Silva would run back. Like, all of these, like, classic Sergio Aguero run back. Like, all of the classic Man City legends wouldn't do that. But, like, him, it's like, every little thing is, like, a slight. Like, him and Bruno Fernandes are, like, the type of footballers, and maybe that's a thing of the Portuguese players in general, but like they all just irk me because they cry about everything when they're losing, but when they're winning, they're the loudest talkers. So like I don't know, like maybe I don't know if you agree with that as an Iberian man. I'm
always gonna rock with Pep. I don't really rock with Portugal. That's kind of like my derby. As many people know, me and Sosa, although good friends, our MLS savant. Me and Sosa have a little like Iberian Peninsula derby. Just mentally in life.
That's fair.
Yeah, we just kind of need each other, but we also need to like hate each other.
That's fair.
He's gonna get to this point, be like, what the heck? I just know, Sosa. He's gonna be like, me?
Who? Me?
Me? What I do? Fuck you. Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like Manchester United, I don't know if it's just the new manager bounce with, a club legend, or I don't know, like, do you call Carrick a legend? I don't know.
No.
Cold hero?
Yeah, Cold hero.
Cold hero in the dugout. The team just looked like they wanted it more. Honestly, that's it. And I know Man City's hurt, and they're starting this kid, Alanin. I don't know how to even say it. Like they're clearly not playing their best, right? And I mean, it's still crazy because they're not playing their best, and this team probably beats 95% of teams anyway. But yeah, I agree with you. It was interesting to see them move to the back four, something that I think we were all kind of like, is he going to keep it a 3? Is he going to go to a 4? And also like going with Martinez and Maguire, right? Like leaving Lenny Yoro on the bench. And then obviously Cunha comes in, looks good, has fun. I was honestly surprised Dorgu got the start on the left. It makes sense that he does, but I was surprised like you didn't just like throw your best players on the field, like put Cunha there and tell them to figure it out. But I think Cunha and Fernandes want to occupy similar spaces, especially when you're in possession, and that's where it made sense what he did. It also feels like he just simplified the game.
Oh, he's he probably just told the boys go out there and just play.
But I mean, you're looking at the team, and it's like, all right, Dorgu, your best attribute is the fact you could go forward. So I'm going to put Luke Shaw behind you and tell Shaw like, hey man, just like kind of play as like a proper fullback, and Dorgu, you have freedom.
Yeah.
Whereas on the right side, you have Dallo and Ahmad, who they both want to get forward, but like Ahmad can kind of play like that true right mid, right wing back spot and come back. It's always just fun to see like an upset here. Kind of sucks for the title, but Pucc, you got to be feeling good, man. You got the league is yours.
I mean, we can go to Arsenal Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, good game.
Good game.
First 70 minutes were awesome. Hudson Odoi, terrific.
You should have watched the last 20. It was even better.
Oh, no.
I think I know a lot of, Arsenal Twitter, like Saka like breaks a fingernail and they like freak out.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, I try and stay off of it, especially during this part of the season, because every little thing is like so drawn out and all of that. I've said this, I think off air to a lot of people. I hate Arsenal fans.
Okay. Interesting. Hate yourself.
Yeah. Like I kind of put myself in the category of like, I'm not as, what's it called? Temperamental about
emotional,
Arsenal.
reactionary.
Yeah. But anyway, off that, I think it was a good draw, like 7 points above Villa.
I think we're still good. Alrighty.
So
let's rip through this. We've had some technical issues. I'm hoping that I could cut all this, but if you're hearing this, we've had some technical issues at this point. So what we've done, because we are now well over the 2-hour mark, we've really let it rip. We're going to go through our weekend recap. We are going to leave the UCL stuff until we'll talk it all about it on Thursday. So some big games there, but we'll talk about them on Thursday and then talk about the results, or at least you'll hear it on Friday, but for us, it'll be Thursday. And then unfortunately, we will be leaving our Mystery 11 until Thursday too, but that just means you have an even better episode on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, all right, Pooch, we were just talking a little bit Manchester Derby. Let's rip through the rest of this weekend, I think. Let's just talk big games, try and wrap this thing up so that way we can make sure we actually get things recorded properly here. Chelsea beat Brentford 2-0.
Good for Chelsea.
Yeah, good. Who cares? Leeds beat Fulham.
I saw this absolute banger in the 91st.
Yeah, awesome.
Great for Leeds.
Liverpool draw Burnley 1-1. Honestly, we could rip on Liverpool, but they hit 32 shots.
Burnley is bad. Scott Parker, terrible manager.
No, he's not.
He's so bad.
He literally won Player of the Year.
He's such a bad manager.
Tottenham legend and handsome. More handsome than Arteta, I'd argue.
Yeah,
Owen?
definitely.
Who's more handsome, Scott Parker or Arteta?
I want to say Arteta.
Okay.
Scott Parker.
Interesting. Look him up. He looks good. All right, we're getting off topic. Sunderland beat Palace 2-1. Palace are just in free fall. I mean, yeah, we talked about it earlier. They're just in free fall.
Yeah.
West Ham beat Spurs 2-1. Frank out. It is like just Frank out. I'm over it.
Class's permanent bounce.
We did save the club, so good for us. Arsenal draw Nottingham 0-0. This is kind of where we were at.
Yeah, I think good draw for Arsenal. You gain an extra point on City and Villa.
Congrats.
I know everybody wanted the 3, but going to Nottingham Forest is a tough place to go.
Yeah.
And to get away with points. I think I saw that we haven't gotten there since they first got promoted. Like, we haven't gotten points there. So
Yeah.
actually, no, that's false. I don't think we've ever gotten 3 points there.
Wow.
So good for us.
Good for you guys. And Hudson-Odoi looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everton beat Aston Villa 1-0. Good for Everton.
Good for
Barry.
Everton. Yeah.
Barry with a big goal. Around the world, La Liga, Barca fall to La Real, which is Sociedad 2-1. Similar to Liverpool, like we just could not put the ball in the net. We hit the post multiple times. The officiating was a little questionable, but I'm not going to be a guy that cries about the officiating. It is what it is. You have to win the game. Real Madrid beat Levante 2-0. And now, funny enough, like Xabi Alonso got sacked. Real Madrid are now 1 point behind Barcelona. Just like that. Like
all of the Madrid bars are going to be going nuts if they win it. Jude is going to spend so much money at them until 3 a.m.
Yeah, what is going on with those reports that there's not a bar he doesn't like?
I guess just goes out all the time. Fair enough.
Yep. Fiorentina beat Bologna 2-1, moving out of relegation.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody kind of knew they weren't relegation fodder. They just needed kind of a kick up the ass. And I think they're starting to get that now.
They're also in a league where they could, like Prem, like there's a big gap.
Yeah.
In Italy, they could survive.
Yeah.
Roma beat Torino 2-0. Congratulations, Pucc.
Malin Remontada.
Your guy.
Scored a goal for us. I guess good for him. I'm still a little nervous because he's a Villa guy and we don't have a good history with that. But
okay.
Yeah, I'll take the win. I think we're now 7 points behind, maybe 5 points behind the lead in Serie A. So I'll take that any day of the week.
Very nice. Cagliari beat Juventus 1-0. Just thought that was a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Napoli beat Sassuolo 1-0. Inter beat Udinese 1-0. Como beat Lazio 3-0 today. Nico Paz brace. He should have had a hat trick with the penalty he missed out of respect for Brahim. Doesn't want to upshow one of his Madristas.
Up the Como boys for beating Lazio.
Bundesliga, Bayern's running away with it. I mean, they destroyed Leipzig 5-1. That was like one of the better teams. So Dortmund beat St. Pauli in the 95th minute with a pen, 3-2. Emery Can with that pen. I didn't watch this game. Like, was it deserved?
Nope, didn't see it.
Ligue 1, PSG beat Lille 3-0. And then this was one I saw that was sick. So the Rotterdam Derby over in the Netherlands. Sparta Rotterdam beat Feyenoord 4-3 with a 94th minute winner. Felt like we had to talk about that. Up to us what we want to do here. This seems to be recording okay. We could either go into some UCL and obviously I'll just cut all this, or we can go into a Mystery 11 and just leave UCL for another day, or we could just call it a night.
I think we call it a night. It's over 2 hours.
Yeah. Alrighty.
That's all Pucc's AFCON Corner.
So all right, we mentioned a little bit earlier, but because of some technical issues and also the fact that no one is being here for 2 hours long, we're going to be moving that Mystery 11. We'll talk UCL. I'll rip through a couple of the games just to keep an eye on maybe. You have Man City go to Bodo Glimt. That'll be fun. Inter versus Arsenal is probably the game of the week. Yeah. Okay. Tottenham versus Dortmund. Please, God, Dortmund beat us. Sack Frank. He might be sacked anyway. And then, some of the other games are okay, but nothing too crazy. Pafos to beat Chelsea. I have a feeling in my heart. And then Europa League on Thursday. Villa is going up against Fenerbahce. Roma versus Stuttgart. Celta Vigo versus Lille. That'll be a good one. But like I said, appreciate you guys all if you've made it this far. It was definitely one of our longer ones, but obviously when you have an AFCON, a final AFCON corner, you got to give it its due time. So that, and yeah, other than that, Pucc, got anything?
Das ist permanent, for ist time.